What's going on, everybody? How's everyone's Saturday going? Welcome to Mels, Shady, Just4Bad Sportscast. We are here with Lamb. We are here with Hiatus, also known as Shady. Beard's
Yeah,
Reaction. What's going on, fellas? How's everything going?
good. Look, Lamb
Woo!
hoodied up.
Change my shoe name to the Black Hood, baby. Let's go. Let's
He
go.
pulling off that KD right now. Is that
Oh
what
no.
that is?
We ain't doing that, though. Nope.
We're
Nope.
going to talk about some of that too, Princess.
Yeah,
Lamb's
let me
actually
take
going
that
to
off
hit
real
some of
quick.
that later on as well.
Yeah, we
He said,
don't want
"Nope,
that.
not
Nope.
doing any of that."
We don't. No, no, no. Not today, devil.
Oh, yes,
That's
sir.
funny. So, we've had a very busy week here in sports. Fairly busy, actually. Not too bad. We had a big fight that just went on here actually. About about maybe 2 hours ago, guys, just finished.
Yep.
And the Khabib and how do you even pronounce his last name? Is it Gaith? I think it's
I
Gaith.
don't.
Okay.
We'll
But
go with
Yeah.
Khabib ended up going in, beat the hell out of him basically, retained his title, and retired right after the fight. Stated that he no longer wants to fight anymore because he doesn't want to do it with his father no longer there. His
Yep.
father passed away due to COVID symptoms and issues back in July. And for him to still come back, retain his title, do that, and respectively do it for his father at the same time, I give him props for doing it. I give him props for retiring when he did. I don't foresee him coming out of retirement after this decision. I don't think anyone's going to talk him out of it, considering he stated he didn't want to without his father no more. I agree 100% with him. Um, and like I said, I don't foresee him coming back out of retirement just because of the way he stated everything. Um, what's your guys' take on that regarding his retirement, the way he put it, and do you think he'll come out of retirement?
Go ahead, Hayes.
Well, I'll say when it comes to stating these retirements, man, um, Conor McGregor was the one of the first people to start this
Yes.
trend, man.
Yep.
Where like there's a fight or a disagreement or I don't want to do something, and he's like, "I retire," and it's like, "Is this a joke?" But but for Khabib, no. I mean, this is real for him. He's never once stated that he wanted to retire. So I think for him, it's more mental than anything.
Right.
Um, and I think him having this fight not having his father in his corner, he felt the difference, and that's something that he didn't want to experience. Now, here's the thing: at the end of the day, money talks, BS walks. Okay,
Big
so
facts.
we can say whatever right now because of the emotional state and the how we feel for 2020. But by 2022, 2023, the pockets get a little bit low. I can see him returning and saying, "Look, I'll give y'all like 6, 7 fights, and let's see where it goes." So we can't rule out that he'll never come back, but I do understand why he did what he did in the fashion in which he did it. And
Agree.
then there's also
100%
the
agree.
fact of him leaving undefeated. So, I
29 and
mean,
0.
come on, bro. Like, if you're going to walk away, you pull a Mayweather. You walk away undefeated with that
Undefeated.
whole untarnished, like, it is what it is.
Yep.
I mean, you don't end like Conor McGregor where you got some L's and an L in boxing and then say I'm retiring. No, you get your butt back in there and fight.
And then comes out of retirement and is facing Justin Poirier here in January.
Exactly.
See, the thing about Conor McGregor, and he lost his way, and he'll be the first to admit it. He became, if it ain't about the money, don't be blowing me up, player. I ain't getting up. He became about that. He lost his passion. He lost his passion for fighting. His training went down the crap hole. He used to be the most prepared fighter in the UFC, the most
Yes,
prepared
it's true.
Yes.
outside of John Bones Jones. He was the most prepared, and then he started slacking off. He loses to Nate Diaz. He
He
loses to Floyd
started talking
Mayweather.
too
Like,
much. He started
yo,
winning
like,
these fights, won a couple of
Mhm.
championships, could let it get
no,
to
no,
his head.
not a couple of championships, not a couple of fights.
Yeah.
He broke
Oh,
records.
yeah,
He
but
was
Well,
Ronda
still, he let
Rousey.
this get to his head
all
too
right.
much and
When you
So-
beat
screwed his
Aldo in the
career.
first, round, bro, you know Jose Aldo's record? Like, bro, he destroyed Jose Aldo like he's nothing. And when I look at Jose Aldo, I'm like, when you look at his record, you're like, this man is one of the baddest men in UFC. And then when
Facts.
you watch that Conor McGregor fight, you're like, you know what? I could beat up Jose Aldo. Like that's how bad, like that's how bad that fight was, bro. That's how bad that
Gotcha.
fight was. But with Khabib and with Conor McGregor, they are so flippin' competitive. Khabib will be back. He will be back. 29 fights and 0 is not enough for him. He has enough money to retire, and his kids and grandkids will do well, great grandkids for the rest of their life. But this man is a competitor, bro. He
Facts.
will be back. He will be back, and it won't be for money. See, Khabib is not like Conor McGregor.
Right.
Khabib is not dumb enough to be like, I want to take on Roman Reigns or Dwayne the Rock Johnson in the WWE for $100 million. Like, no.
Facts.
He wants to fight. He wants to fight for his religion, for his countrymen, for his people. That's how Conor McGregor used to be until the almighty dollar came in. Remember how Conor McGregor used to be just about fighting for his countrymen? You know what I mean?
This
When
is
you're
true.
fighting for love, passion, your country, your flag, like whatever, you're a different person than when it just becomes about money. Conor McGregor, he sullied his entire reputation with his last few fights, bro. He sullied his entire reputation by undertraining, overestimating himself, and surrounding himself and his staff with a whole bunch of yes men who said, you're the greatest of all time. You're better than Muhammad Ali. You're better than Floyd Mayweather. Like, get out of here, bro. Your training staff was trash. So he's since come back and apologized, which is why in his last fight, look how prepared Conor McGregor was. He almost didn't get punched or touched once in that fight. If you go back and watch his last fight.
That's true.
Look at his abs. Look at his quad. Like the man, he's back on his grind. And Khabib's gonna do the exact same thing. I feel like I talked way more about Conor than I did Khabib. But
You did,
what are you
but
gonna do?
I still don't foresee Khabib coming out of retirement just because of the way he stated how much of his dad made an impact, and him losing his dad, like, not even just like a few months ago. So I don't foresee him coming, because that was also his trainer at the same time too. So that is a huge role in his life, a huge loss in his life, and I don't foresee him coming out.
look, time heals all wounds, man.
It does.
You just never know. Like I said, I could see him saying that now because of how crazy 2020. You got quarantine. You're basically locked in. You're thinking about stuff that you normally wouldn't think about because you normally would get out and be able to do stuff. So you got that going on. You know, you defending your championship. You know, you haven't had a chance to grieve. So this is more so about him having that opportunity for him to grieve and kind of get himself together. So if he's ever able to a place where he's like, you know what, I'm good with his passing, I could see him coming back. Lamb, get off the game. Princess done said it like 50,000 times, bro.
We gotta get this
Jeez.
right dust, baby.
Jeez, bro.
We gotta get some bright dust. Wow. This
We
guy
gotta get
over
that
here. That's too funny.
But no, I like the fact that you brought in Conor McGregor because we seen something happen in the UFC that we hadn't seen happen before. At the epicenter of the UFC kind of getting more notoriety, coming more mainstream, you had Conor McGregor, who was at the forefront, and you had Ronda Rousey.
Right.
And both of them had traumatic ends or trends to their career. Ronda Rousey
smacked.
getting smacked by Holly Holmes and
Hey,
predicting
hey,
how she was going to
let's
get
take it
knocked
easy.
out.
When Ronda
Hey,
Rousey and her husband
she
get
did.
divorced, I'm next in line. So let's take it easy on Ronda.
I mean, she does WWE now, so you can
I
have
love
her. So
I'll take her. I'll
you
take
can.
her.
Cool.
Shoot.
It's cool.
If you
It is
wanna-
not a fight. It is
If
not
you
a
want to
fight.
give me Ronda, I'll take
It is not a
Rousey.
fight. You can have her.
We can train
But
together. Shoot. What?
but just like you said with Connor, him chasing after the money, so you kind of seen those two at the top kind of take that downward trend. And it did open the door because then you had the controversy with John Jones and all that nonsense that was going on. So it was a lot of good and bad publicity, but like seeing the two top people kind of get knocked out. So it was nice having Khabib to come up and like
I
hold
agree.
that donut down
Yeah.
because nobody was holding it down, bro.
No, nobody was.
Yeah, that's true. But Connor, he went way too far when he started talking about Khabib's religion and his family, and where I was like, too far, bro.
And
Let's
then
not
when he took the
forget
whole
the fact
incident
that,
when he
bro.
threw the
thank you,
the lift at the bus
us.
and a
Well, I
couple of
don't even.
chairs at the bus. And,
I don't mind that.
Exactly.
it was a dolly, not a lift.
That's
but
just
still.
yeah, that's just regular fighting over testosterone stuff. Don't talk about someone's family and religion.
Yeah,
Bro.
but
Like, don't.
that was stating other facts on top of that, though, too.
Yeah. If you want to throw something at my tour bus, bro, go ahead. But do not talk about my religion, like my beliefs that I base my whole life off of, bro. Like, what? That's why you got choked out. And that helped them realize, yeah, what happened? What did you learn? You talked too much trash. You got choked out, and even after the ref threw the whisk, even after the ref called for the bell, he was still pushing on your neck.
That part.
After the fight, bro.
Exactly.
And he's lost. I mean, straight up, it wasn't even close.
No,
Conor
it
McGregor
wasn't.
got dominated, bro. He got dominated. Woo!
I agree 100%.
Easy.
I didn't
Easy.
feel bad.
It was light work.
It was light
It was
work.
light work,
It
bro.
was light work.
I didn't feel bad. But at the same time, here's where Conor McGregor was right. Khabib, stop and pray to whatever religious God you believe in that you were blessed by getting a fight with Conor McGregor to make millions and millions of dollars. Because Conor McGregor has signed almost as many paychecks in the UFC as LeBron James has in the NBA Finals. And that's just facts. Okay? That's just facts.
You too can follow your dreams.
Oh, man.
If you just believe, you can make it too.
NFL is going to be a busy week this week, guys. Before we do touch in on that, the MLB World Series is currently going on. LA Dodgers just put up another run. They're currently at 3-1 right now on Tampa. We predicted either a sweep or a gentleman's sweep in that series by all three of us. If Dodgers win tonight, that'll put them up 3-1, and we'll most likely see Kershaw tomorrow night in Game 5 to close that series out. It's looking pretty good for the Dodgers right now. I said it before we even started a podcast. Tampa needs to score at least 6 runs, no matter what, to beat the Dodgers to even take a game. And they proved that not last game, but the previous game, Game 2, when they tied it up 1-1, they scored 6 and ended up beating the Dodgers 6-5. So they're gonna have to score 6 or more to end up doing anything in this series, and I don't think they have the firepower to do that right now.
Agreed. Hey, shout out to Major League Baseball for not being rigged. Literally, the best baseball team is about to win the championship. They have the best overall players. They have the best dugout. They have the most wins, the best, there's no way you couldn't watch baseball this season and say, oh, it's rigged. No, the best team is literally dominant.
And it's been on a short season, too, so it's very hard to rig on a short season.
Even though it feels that way, though. Like, it felt that way. Like, I get you. 100% what you're saying is facts. But the way that they led into the build-up, it was like showing Kobe on the side and how he used to root for the team. And it's like, oh, man, this is another Lakers-Miami game. Like, just waiting for it,
We
bro.
were talking about that before podcast, too. That's funny. Like we were just talking about, NFL is a busy week. We actually had a decent game on Thursday that was kind of unexpected. The Eagles... I was predicting the Eagles to whip up on the Giants, considering the Giants don't have anything anymore. Eagles ended up having to come back and win that game. Kind of a hilarious moment in that game too. Daniel Jones broke out for a good, easy 80-yard
The
touchdown. It
quarterback
should have been an
keeper.
88-yard touchdown run.
Yep.
But for some unknown reason, he stumbles over his own feet with nobody within 10 yards of this dude. Not even 10 yards. Stumbles over his own feet, falls short before the touchdown. And honestly, I said this before podcast too. That play right there is what changed the game, and that's why the Giants lost that game.
Yep.
Bro, listen.
All
I'm sitting there
momentum changed
watching.
immediately after
I'm
he face
sitting there
planted.
watching, and I'm like, huh, he broke. I'm like, okay. And then I'm looking at his stance. Like, you know, runners have stances, how they
Yup.
run. And I'm looking at his stance, and I was like, he's running too awkward. He is literally going to
His
fall.
shoulders roll like weaving back and forth at the same time too.
As soon as I said he's going to fall, tuck and roll. I was like, oh my God, I'm out of here. You're a professional, bro. What are you doing?
Not even 10 yards within anybody.
Oh my
He could have
God.
slowed down if he wanted and toppled into the end zone. 4
Something,
yards
bro.
before and at least
Ah,
rolled into the end
oh.
That's
zone.
what happens when
Nah.
you wear Frosties.
He
instead of
clipped over
Stompies.
his own heel and face planted.
You better put them damn Stompies on and take them Frosties off.
Bruh, that man was rocking the Dr. Scholl's.
That man
Oh
was
my
at
lord.
48 mobility on 100 with Frosties.
Oh my gosh. He looked like Bambi when he first learned how to walk.
not
Oh my
Bambi,
lord.
bro. Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm like, what is up with this man? He don't know his own
man.
flexibility. Like, bro, what are you doing?
Bro, he got so happy. You know what he was saying in his head? I'm Lamar Jackson. I'm Lamar Jackson.
Oh man.
Real bad.
I mean, just imagine that. Like, you go back to film study, and you know they're gonna keep replaying that over.
Yep.
Over
Don't show up to
and
practice.
over. That's
Hey.
gonna be the not top play of football season all year long.
Oh,
Yep, do not show up to practice.
exactly. You might as well call in sick.
I got COVID, so
It's
I won't
COVID
be there for
related.
2 weeks. You spend 2 weeks out where everybody will forget, bro.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. That was
So
crazy.
we're gonna get the kind of no-so games out the way because there's only a couple of them this week. One of them being the Lions and Falcons. Falcons should win this game statistically and on paper. You can never count the Lions out for some unknown reason. You never know what Matthew Stafford's ever gonna do. And then also their rookie running back went off last week too, and DeAndre Swift. So it'd be interesting if we can see him and Adrian Peterson kind of dominate that backfield and maybe steal one from the Falcons, but I don't foresee that happening. Especially if the Falcons are coming back healthy, having Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones. Todd Gurley's been hit and miss this season. It's been kind of disappointing. But the Falcons should roll away with this one. You guys agree with that?
I agree with the fact that the Falcons, unless last week was an aberration,
Right.
should definitely roll over the Lions like it ain't nothing. With them being back healthy and what they were able to do last week, pretty much anything they wanted, it should be more of the same. I mean, the good thing is that you got a break. You're not facing a top-tier team, top-tier defense, so your confidence is still high, and you got a shot to kind of salvage some of this season. So hopefully they can get it right, because all I know is the division they're in is getting heated. It is getting competitive, and they gotta make some moves. They gotta
start winning some games if they're gonna want to be in contention.
They gotta make some moves.
Okay, so as y'all know, I am not even playing devil's advocate. Okay, I believe what I'm about to say right now because I don't do
God.
devil's advocate.
as he
Out,
leans into the game.
out, out of Atlanta and Detroit, and y'all look it up. All right,
Hmm.
out of Atlanta and Detroit, which one of those teams has improved their defense every single week since like week 2?
Mm.
The
Is this
Lions.
a homework question?
That's a homework question.
That would be
That's a
the
homework
Lions.
question.
It
The
would be.
Lions, their defense improves every single week, which lets me know they're figuring it out.
But the defense is
Okay.
also very injury prone.
Atlanta's not doing anything on defense.
No, they're not.
They're
Their
just
defense is terrible.
their defense is let's throw Julio another fade. Like that's what their defense is. Oh well, we'll just go throw Julio another fade. So this is going to be a good game. And is Marvin Jones playing or is he injured?
I want to say Marvin's still out.
Let's see. Is Galladay playing?
Um,
Let me go to
it
Lions.
says
Yeah.
Trufant and Kilbrew is out. That's the only one that's showing on the injury report right now.
Okay, so yeah, Galladay and Marvin Jones Jr. I'm taking the
Yep,
Detroit
they are
Lions
back.
on this. Yep, I'm taking the Detroit Lions in this game.
Interesting.
Just
So you
because
think that this will be more of a defensive stance by Detroit versus an offensive stance by the Falcons?
I think both teams have a good offense.
Mhm.
Detroit has the better running back, has the better running game. But and Atlanta's Todd Gurley's just doing what they ask him to do. They're like, hey, if we get in the red zone, we need you to power through for 4 yards every carry so we can get an easy touchdown. Like he's just doing what they're calling him to do. He's not going to be doing the 25, 24 carries like Derrick Henry. He's just not. He's too many surgeries, too many bang ups. They're literally counting on the passing game. And even though Julio Jones is back, we still know who the Falcons are. The Falcons are the team that can have the number one passing offense in the league, just like the Bucs did last year, and do absolutely nothing with it. Right? That's who the Falcons are consistently. Detroit, I think they have a better running attack, and I think they have a better red zone offense. I haven't looked at the stats, but Marvin Jones Jr. can catch end zone touchdowns better than Julio Jones can. Julio Jones had that one season where he was getting like 2 touchdowns per game, right? Like he almost broke the touchdown record. Other than that, Julio Jones has a whole bunch of yards, but no touchdowns, right? So he'll have a week or two where he'll get 2 or 3. But what troubles me about Atlanta is their defense is not getting better. I mean, it's not getting worse, but it's not getting better. Detroit is more their health is returning. It looks like they might only have one player out of all their starters not playing, which means you have Matthew Stafford, you have T.J. Hawkinson, you have Kenny Galladay, you have Swift, you have Marvin Jones Jr., and then you have a fully functioning defense as well. That's getting better every week. I'm taking the Lions in this game.
So, all right. So, with you giving facts, let's keep it honest. All right. So, I'm looking at the breakdown. So far up until where we are right now, the Falcons are better on the run. They've only allowed 97.2. Meanwhile, Detroit has allowed 145. So they have been questionable in regards to allowing backs to run.
We can't really use those stats because they haven't played the exact same football team. So
I get you, but I'm just giving you the facts of the numbers that teams have been able to put up on them.
Right.
So, pass yards, Detroit has been better because they've only allowed 248 to the Falcons 345. So
the Falcons are banged up on defense though too. So
I think
that
secondary is hurt.
Right. So I think that if they were going to beat them, it'll probably more or less be through the air with Matthew Stafford than it would be through the running game, because it looks like their linebackers has been doing a decent job in keeping backs in check. Of course, again, this is still Adrian Peterson, so we'll have to see what happens. But I don't know. I don't know if I trust the Lions to get it done.
Touchdowns? What's the average points allowed scored on each team?
Points per game, points allowed. Detroit is 28.6. Falcons are 30.7, so they're close. Yeah, it's like neck and neck.
Whether
Like
you
point.
win by an inch or a mile, that's what Toretto said.
Yeah,
That's what Dominic Toretto said.
I'm just saying, like when we're looking at these numbers, they're so close. You know, it could turn into a dogfight. I just don't want to say that Detroit will get them. So we'll see.
I think, and y'all, I think that is going to be the game, the better game, even besides Seattle and Arizona. I think the Detroit Falcons game is going to be a better game, but that's just me.
Oh, there's so many good games this week.
It is.
So many
So,
good games.
Melby, who are you picking in that game? You went with the Falcons, and
Yeah,
you did
right.
Falcons.
Okay, so I'm the only one. Y'all, we need to. Don't make me start an Excel spreadsheet.
Start the spreadsheet. We need to keep track of this.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Look,
we need to keep our wins and losses.
We do. I mean, it holds us accountable. So that way, when people come in
since
chat,
this is the first true week that we're gonna go through the games and do this, we'll start it up and we'll do it.
Yeah, so hiatus gets a bye then because of his Cleveland Pittsburgh. Is that what we're saying?
Hey,
that's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. Oh my gosh, you're not gonna live that down.
Never.
You'll never live that one down.
Oh my gosh. I just wanted to rub it in your face. I just wanted them to win so I could rub it in your face.
Yeah. Hey, what did you learn? This is what I always tell people when I have to punch
Don't bet on the Browns. Oh my gosh. You guys let me down. There's no LeBron on your squad.
The next kind of no-so game. Go ahead, Liam.
Oh, wait. No, Lions versus Falcons. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So the next kind of no-so game this week is the Jaguars and Chargers. They're both only have one win. Both defenses are dismantled pretty much. The Chargers defense was supposed to be good this year, but I don't know what's happened to it. And then the Jaguars have pretty much done traded everybody away on their defense. They literally only have an offense left. Kind of a toss-up game.
All right, what's the game again? I'm sorry, I'm typing it in.
Jags-Chargers.
Jags-Chargers. Ugh.
Yeah.
I know.
Disgusting game. It's a toss-up game.
I like to choose the who cares pick. No, I'm just
pretty
kidding.
much.
It's a very toss-up game.
There's so many injuries, man.
There's a lot of injuries. And the players to watch in this game, not a single Charger is named out of the 3 players.
DJ Chark, baby.
Yes, and DJ Chark is supposed to be back. He's supposed to be back this week, so that's going to be another addition to that offense.
He played last week.
He ended up getting hurt, I believe, if I remember right, or re-aggravated his injury because he was
so
questionable.
Weird. I don't want to go against Herbert, but Minshew is
Herbert's
no joke.
Been showing out, but Minshew's been nice.
And DJ Chark are very, very good. I don't like either one of their defenses, though.
No, and like I said, the Chargers' defense was supposed to be very good this year, and I don't know what's happened to it. And then key injury on Jacksonville's defense, Miles Jack is out. What? Why are you being so mouthy today? Chargers, if they can get their offense going, they can have a nice game. But with Jacksonville having a fully established, pretty much offense right now, and both defenses are being terrible, I'm picking Jags in this game. I don't foresee any other reason not to, honestly.
All right, so let me just let me throw some info out. So let's look at the last 5 games that each team has played.
Okay.
Who
are we going?
So let's start with your pick.
Okay.
Jags.
All right.
So the last 5 that they played: Detroit, they lost. Houston, they lost.
Yep.
Cincinnati, they lost.
Yep.
Miami, they lost.
Yep.
Tennessee, they lost. Okay? Let's look at the Chargers. Last 5 games, they played New Orleans. They lost in OT. They played Tampa. They lost by 7.
Right.
They played Carolina. They lost by 5. They played Kansas City. Went to overtime and lost by 3. And then they beat Cincinnati. You sure you want to go with Jacksonville?
I'm going with Jacksonville still.
I'm just okay. Because that's a lot of. These are all the
They're
teams
close
that I
games.
mentioned.
They're
all
close and good teams.
They are all good teams. On the other side, nah,
Minshew been showing out though. Minshew's no
I don't
joke.
know.
Minshew's already got 1,700 yards through the air.
Okay. I mean, I don't knock it, but he also got 5 interceptions as well.
He do.
So I don't knock it, but I'm just looking at what the
they
teams
can also
have done.
rely on that run game though. James Robinson been pretty nice this year.
True.
He's not statistically shown it in the touchdown game, but he's got almost 400 yards already, considering he missed the first couple of weeks due to COVID.
I got you.
So I'm going to take the LA Football Chargers. And here's why. I'll tell you what concerns me about them. That offensive line is banged up.
Yeah.
They got one guy, I think their right guard's not playing, and I think their left guard is questionable. But
well, they got 2 tackles that are doubtful.
Yeah, feels bad. Right? Yeah. And doubtful, and it's Saturday and you
quarterback.
Sunday, they're not playing. Because you don't want to jeopardize the entire season, right? The rest of the season. I will take Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry, and Herbert. The defense is completely healthy on the Chargers. Joey Bosa will be playing. Vigil will be playing. As much as I like James Robinson, the undrafted rookie running back, and as much as I love DJ Chark, and I'm a Gardner Minshew fan, the Chargers, they're just a better football team on defense. And they're just a better football team. I gotta go with the Chargers.
I'm with you on the Chargers. I just can't look at the last 5 games and just chalk it up to nothing. Like, they played some top tier quality. Like, that Kansas City game alone.
That Kansas City game was
you
good.
You gotta give respect. Like, you gotta give respect. You took the defending Super Bowl champs to overtime,
with a
and
rookie
they were
quarterback.
like, bro, I can't. Like, even though your record is shaky as all get out, you played some battles.
They have played some really good games. I'll give you that.
I mean, the thing about it is, if you look at the Jaguars, if the roles were reversed, what do you think the Chargers' record would be right now? If they played Detroit, Houston, Cincinnati, Miami, and Tennessee, what do you think their record would be?
Miami and Tennessee probably would have beat them because Miami's been on a hot tear for some reason.
I would say they'd be a 1-loss team against the Titans. That's it.
I'm giving them 2 wins.
I'm just saying their record would be completely different. So I just believe that they're a better team, and I think that's gonna kind of be shown on Sunday. Now, again, we could be wrong, but based off of who they played, man, you gotta give them respect, bro. I just gotta give one. I gotta respect them.
I'm on my lonesome.
So you know what that means. You know what that means.
Huh.
If they do win, then we deserve a text.
You'll definitely be getting a text.
Don't be bagging me through text, bro.
One other. Well, there's 2 more kind of no-say games. You got Cowboys and Washington. Can the Cowboys win with Andy Dalton, and can Zeke solve his fumbling issues with that terrible Dallas defense? Because Washington's pretty much healthy. Washington's healthy on both sides of the ball.
Healthy trash is still trash.
Healthy trash, yeah, I agree. But Terry McLaurin's not trash. Terry McLaurin's going to have probably a fairly decent day against that Cowboys defense.
So that's for true. I actually put him in.
Oh, you can't not put him in. The dude's been an unstoppable force basically since he came into the league. I drafted him last year. That's how much high respect I have for him coming into the league.
I still wouldn't put him as a top 10 wide receiver.
He's getting there, though. He's close.
Against Dallas, he's going to look like Julio Jones did last week.
Yeah. Okay. He's going to go off this week.
Yeah, he's absolutely going to go off. But Dallas still wins this football game.
I believe so, too.
I'll tell you why. Even with Dallas's offensive line, and trash is trash. Cowboys are trash. The Washington football team is trash. So whatever trash team wins, I'll give them credit. But if I'm gonna take trash versus trash, I'm gonna take the trash that has Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Dalton Schultz, and Ezekiel Elliott. They're better than them at wide receiver. They're better than them at running back. So I'm gonna take that.
Right, and I agree. When it comes down to this, I mean, definitely looks like the Cowboys will get somewhat of a break this week, and they definitely need it. I mean, good grief.
They really do.
With what they've experienced and what they've gone through, and I think this will give them a chance to kind of regroup. Nobody's really expecting anything special from the Washington football team. I mean, just like we didn't expect anything special when they renamed their name of the team.
I still can't believe they haven't done anything regarding that.
You know what I mean? Like you're
still
matching.
Can't get over that.
You're matching, like, you know what I mean, like that. So when you look at it and you put it in perspective, and just keeping it in alignment. When you look at who the Cowboys played, and again, I understand big loss with Dak Prescott, but when you look at the teams that they played versus Washington, like it's come on, you already know what time it is. They're just not putting up that production like that, and then they still have a couple on Washington that are questionable, that are out. So we have to see. Princess said, if you do not put that controller down, she is going to tomahawk chop you in the back of the neck.
Talking in a garden raid. Hey, Melby, I know hiatus ain't talking. in a GO.
Listen, I'm not the one that's talking. I'm not the one that's talking. Princess is like, lamb, put it down.
Hey, you know what? That's like the 15th time she's told you to put the controller down, too.
I'm gonna hit y'all with that Martin Lawrence in life. Ray, I'm a grown man.
So all three of us picking Cowboys in that game.
Yeah, we're all taking Dallas.
Yeah.
And then the other kind of no-so game is Jets and Bills. Even though the Bills have been struggling in the last couple of weeks, I don't know if maybe the Jets can pull one out. I highly doubt it's gonna happen. But the Bills have been struggling the last couple of weeks. They've gotten walked all over.
The Bills have been struggling because they've been playing good football teams. The Jets are not a good
no, the Jets are garbage. Like they're gonna be there with the Lions and finish 0-16.
Yeah, so we're all taking the Bills?
Bills.
Cool.
Big facts.
Have to.
Now we get into the good games.
I mean, to be honest, that would be disrespectful. Like, I understand the whole stiff arm debacle and how it shifted the chemistry.
That shifted their whole season around.
Right? Like, I get it, but like, yo, that is absolutely disrespectful to pick the Jets over the Bills. Like,
I'm taking Stephon Diggs over Jamison Crowder, and I'm taking Josh Allen over Joe Flacco. Like, just better at every position.
They are.
At almost
and their defense is 10 times better.
Hey, and
Yeah,
just so that,
like,
in case anybody out there was wondering, Josh Norman is going to be out.
Oh. Did he finally retire?
It just says he's
gosh.
on the injury report. He's out.
His
As of the
feelings got
23rd.
injured.
I'm
He's
telling
hurt.
you.
It says he's got
Listen,
He
feelings.
may
There
finally
is-
retire, chat.
there is no way that you go back on after
You can't
what
go back
happened
onto
to
the
you.
field after
You can't
that.
go back onto the
Your
field.
soul got
Man.
left implanted into the turf.
If you go back on the field,
Oh
you
my
need a pick
God,
six off rip first play. If you go back on that
man.
football field, you need a pick six first play.
Yep.
That is the only
Or,
exception.
or you need the hardest crack you've ever laid on any running back in your life.
Or
Yup.
start a
Like
fight.
you gotta lay somebody out.
You got to start and win a fight.
Yep.
Instantly.
Now we get into the good games, guys. Really good games. We'll start with the so-so game. It's kind of a toss-up. You got divisional game, Browns and Bengals. You can't count the Bengals out. Joe Mixon has been really good this year.
He's been really injured. I don't know if he's playing.
He's playing. He ain't sitting out. I didn't get a injury report on my fantasy today saying that he's sitting out. So
It's his foot, though.
He's questionable.
he's been questionable the last 4 weeks going into the game with all different injuries. Dude's playing the game.
No,
Yeah,
not
they have.
Mixon. Mixon ain't been questionable the
Yeah,
last
he
4
has.
weeks.
I have him on my fantasy team. Trust me, I follow that very closely.
I have
He
him
was
on my
questionable last week with a chest injury. He was questionable the week before with a groin
Afraid of
injury,
another
I believe. And now
Afraid
this
of
week
another
he's
ball.
questionable with the foot injury.
Yep.
Yeah, foot on a running back. That's different.
He's
than,
played.
than chest or whatever.
He's played.
By the way, Giovanni Bernard.
It says he's out, but I don't know
Yeah.
about that.
Giovanni Bernard. No, pick up Giovanni.
There ain't no way Mixon's sitting out this game. If he is, because fantasy football didn't tell me nothing about him actually sitting out.
Yeah, see, I play football every week.
Oh,
and
now
when
they
you have a
updated
foot-
it. I see how
when
it
you
is.
have a when you have a,
There it is.
yep, when you have a foot injury, oof.
Yep.
So that's interesting. Giovanni Bernard's going to be the main ball carrier in that game.
Yep.
We haven't seen that in ages.
Giovanni
So-
Bernard is 72 years old, y'all.
Giovanni been in the league for a minute.
Security.
He been in the league for a hot minute.
For
So
a
that's a
fact.
big difference maker then. Browns are definitely winning this game because the Bengals aren't going to be able to have any other option but to throw the ball, especially with Mixon out if that's the case.
I think Giovanni Bernard might come in and do better than Joe Mixon, but I'm sorry. In this game, as much as I hate Odell Beckham Jr., the Browns are better
He
at
about to
running
get
back
loose.
and wide receiver. Odell
There's
about
Beckham.
to get
no
loose.
way Giovanni Bernard is not even going to reach 80 yards on the ground against that Browns front.
Well, that's good because Joe Mixon barely reaches 80 yards. But
Let's say what?
Odell Beckham might have 2 touchdowns, 120 yards. Kareem Hunt is definitely going to go over the century mark and have a touchdown or 2. Like, they just have a better offense. They just have a way better offense. It's not even close. I got to go with the Browns, and I hate them.
Joe Mixon was like the 5th leading rusher in the league in rushing yards. He got 430 yards on the ground this year already.
That's terrible.
That's-
We're in week 7. That's horrible, actually.
Not really.
Look at Derrick Henry's rushing yards.
Derrick Henry's a different monster. If I said that in the beginning of our podcast, if anyone's going to break the rushing record, it's going to be Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
He is a different monster.
I don't put Joe Mixon as a top 10 running back in the league. I drafted him because he was definitely the best option at the
Joe
spot where I
Mixon's
had
definitely
to
a top 10 running back in the league.
pick. Ooh. Hiatus. I'm gonna let you answer that, sir. You tell me your honest opinion. Is Joe Mixon, out of every running back in the NFL, top 10? I feel like I can name 15 that I'd rather have.
Yeah, I can't. I
No?
can't put him that high.
No?
Me personally, I can't put him that high.
There's backups better than
I
Joe
mean,
Mixon. Kareem Hunt.
Because
Leonard
as
Fournette.
of right now, with Joe Mixon missing this week, Joe Mixon is actually 7th on the list this year in rushing. The people above him, Miles Sanders, by 6 yards. Ronald Jones, Kenyon Drake, who's had a very inconsistent start to the year. Dalvin Cook, who is now hurt.
Amazing.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who is
rookie.
potentially going to lose a lot of carries and maybe go to a 50-50 role with Le'Veon now being signed there. And then obviously you got Derrick Henry. Right behind him, is Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley in that Atlanta offense is not going to surpass Joe Mixon. And then Zeke, they're going to end up in a passing game, unfortunately, for a lot of the rest of this year. So,
are you saying Joe Mixon's a better running back through 7? Is a top 10 running back through 7 games, or a top 10 running back in the league?
He's a top 10 running back in the league.
Oh, no, you're...
Because as of right now, the 13th leading rusher in the league right now is a quarterback in Kyler Murray.
But in the league, we have to look at his stats for as long as he's been in the NFL, though.
Joe Mixon's been a force since he's entered the NFL. It may not be on the touchdown statistically, but actual yardage, Mixon's worth drafting every single year.
No, for sure. I mean, you have to draft Mixon.
He's a top 10 draft running back every single year that he's entered the league.
Or the second
Not
round.
because of touchdown statistics, but what he does yardage-wise and what he averages. Unfortunately, this year has been a little bit of a downside. He's averaging only 3.7 right now, which is middle of the pack. Actually, the leading rusher in Derrick Henry is only averaging 4.8. Miles Sanders is actually averaging 6-point rushing yards per game so far this year.
So for me, I'm going with Cleveland Brown. I believe that the first year start-off game when they faced against the Bengals and they won was not a fluke. And they'll just repeat what they did the first time. So I don't see them beating Cleveland.
Yeah. Cincy's definitely losing this game without Joe Mixon. With him definitely sitting out, Browns are winning this game.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like what you were stating, in the beginning of the season, they had Joe, and they lost 35-30.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like, this is a repeat. This is the second time that they're seeing each other.
Yep.
All right, so here you go. Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Ezekiel Elliott, Alvin Kamara, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, Nick Chubb, Miles Sanders, Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones, Chris Carson.
Austin Eckler is not better than Joe Mixon.
Okay, let's replace him with Melvin Gordon. Let's replace him with James Conner. Let's replace him with Kareem Hunt, Leonard Fournette. I mean, I can keep going.
James Conner, as far as being on the field and actually being consistent, James Conner's been off the field too much to be a top 10 running back.
I would take all of those running backs before I even consider taking Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon came into the league with something to prove, and he's not going to leave the league without proving it. And I've stood by that ever since he's entered the league. And
I mean, he's no
going to
slouch.
prove his case.
He's no slouch, right? Like he has 1,000-yard rushing seasons every season. You know what I mean? Like
he's a top 10 running back in the league because he's consistent and he gets the job done.
Dude, almost every running back in the league that's a starter now gets about almost 1,000 yards, dude. Like almost everyone. But he's not even a touchdown running back though, bro. He doesn't get touchdowns.
Oh, and that's what I said. That's because they don't score anymore. Unfortunately, their offense doesn't move. It's literally the Joe Mixon show there, unfortunately, because all their wide receivers are always hurt.
Well, it looks like the Joe Burrows.
It's true.
It looks like the Joe Burrows.
That's why I say Joe Mixon's a top 10 running back because of what he does and how terrible that team is. What he does, he's a top 10 running back in my league.
Are you going to take Christian McCaffrey over Joe Mixon?
No, obviously not.
So you're going to take Joe Mixon over Christian McCaffrey, or you're going to take Christian McCaffrey over Joe Mixon?
I'm taking Christian McCaffrey. That's a no-brainer, obviously.
Saquon Barkley.
taking Saquon.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Zeke.
Alvin Kamara.
Alvin.
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin. That's only 5.
Derrick Henry.
Okay, 6.
Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb and Mixon are actually very similar.
Would you take Nick Chubb over Joe Mixon? Nick Chubb for the past 2 seasons has proved he's a way better running back.
So look at the offensive line he has. Look at the other. Look how. Chorus stop. Look how much of more of a complete team that Cleveland Browns team is compared to Cincinnati. Like I said, it's literally the Joe Mixon show there, and that's it.
Well, would you, if you had the opportunity?
Nick Chubb and Joe Mixon are a toss-up for me.
Would you? Okay, so let's remove that one. Josh Jacobs.
I'm taking Josh Jacobs.
Aaron Jones.
That's 7. That's 8.
Aaron Jones. You taking Jones?
Yeah, I said that's 8.
Melvin Gordon.
I'm not taking Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon's he's too inconsistent. He's always hurt.
Kareem Hunt.
That one's another toss-up, too. Because Kareem's only been back in the league for a year and a half now. Last year, he didn't really play because he was suspended for half of the year. So, technically, he's only been back for a year. So, I can't really place him in that role considering Chubb's been the main rushing there. So, Hunt's only been able to prove himself the last 4 games while Chubb's been out.
Leonard Fournette.
I'm not taking Leonard either. He's been too inconsistent as well.
Ronald Jones. Leonard Fournette's been inconsistent?
Ronald Jones. Been very inconsistent. And he's been hurt.
Ronald Jones. That's a part. I mean, so is Joe Mixon. That's just a part of being a running back, though.
I'm not taking Ronald Jones either. I actually drafted Joe Mixon ahead of Ronald Jones.
And you're not going to take Austin Eckler over Joe Mixon, even if you look at his stats?
I'm not taking Eckler either. Eckler hasn't played since week 2.
Well, injuries are a part of it.
And he only played last year because Melvin Gordon sat out because of his contract dispute. If Melvin Gordon wouldn't have sat out, Eckler wouldn't even have had that opportunity.
He did better than Melvin Gordon did.
But that's because Melvin Gordon sat out and wasn't in football shape when he came back.
Well, that's not Austin Eckler's fault, though.
No, but like I stated, if Melvin Gordon wouldn't have sat out and would have signed his contract, Eckler wouldn't even have been in that situation and would have never even gotten the opportunity.
You know what, Nobi? This is one of those discussions that would be excellent. See, we got to talk about this when we start promoting that. Because that's a serious, there's good points being brought up. That's a good discussion because we could do the same thing with quarterbacks and wide receivers.
Oh, yeah.
That's a discussion.
True. But in my opinion, Mixon is a fringe top 10 running back in the league. The other 4 or 5 that I'm
gonna need you
was a toss up on those. You can Mixon's take right there with him.
Austin Eckler and Nick Chubb and Kareem. I'm gonna need you to do that for sure.
So next game, because we're gonna skip over this one because that's gonna be the highlight game of the week. Panthers-Saints divisional game. Saints are without Michael Thomas. They're also without Emmanuel Sanders on that offense. So it's basically going to be the Drew Brees going to Alvin Kamara all day long. Panthers have a very good opportunity at pulling off an upset in this one, especially in New Orleans. Panthers played really good last week. Pretty sure McCaffrey is still out. I'm pretty positive he's not coming back until like week 8 or week 9, if I remember right. I don't see him on the injury list. Have you guys heard anything about that?
I'm looking now. I'm not seeing it.
I don't think
because I know he was questionable to come back last week, and he didn't end up coming back. I don't even see him on the depth chart right now, so they haven't activated him off the IR yet, so he's still currently out for this week. Teddy Bridgewater and Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson is currently the second leading wide receiver in the league this year in receiving yards. They've been on a really good connection, and they have a very good opportunity of upsetting the Saints in New Orleans this week. I don't know if it's going to be completely possible if they can do it or not. I have to take Drew Brees in this one still. Just because the last time we saw this and Drew Brees went to Alvin Kamara all game, Alvin Kamara went off. He had 13 receptions on top of what he did on the ground. So I think it's going to be the Alvin Kamara show in this one, and it's going to go to the Saints. The Saints are going to improve to 4-2.
What do you think, Hiatus?
So this is tough
It's a
because
very tough game, especially with the 2 injuries being out. And I know you're a Panthers fan.
I know they're here from my heart. Even though we have differences this year because of how they did Cam Newton, but that's neither here nor there. That's still my squad. Still love them dearly. However, I did write them a strong letter telling them I was about to quit. But my problem is this. I want to say the Panthers, this is a good opportunity for them to take this game. Teddy Bridgewater proving in this game what he couldn't prove in the last game. It's just, right. I don't trust Teddy Bridgewater. I'm sorry. If the game is on the line, he is not the guy I want the ball in his hands. If they had a rushing game such as McCaffrey back there, then yeah, I'll be like, all right, well, I mean, either you toss it to him or you throw it to him. I mean, simple. It's a simple 1-2.
Yep.
But the fact that you don't have that, and I just don't trust that they will get it done. And then when you look at the other side of the spectrum, Drew Brees, for whatever reason, just doesn't seem to age. I've been wanting Drew Brees to retire for so long. He has brought agony to me in this division. Oh my gosh, I wanted him to retire. Not because he's hurt, not because he can't do it, just because I don't want to see him no more. You can't count this man out. He's so accurate, regardless of, him not having his main wide receiver. He's in that field of Brady. He's in that field of Aaron Rodgers, where he just next man up and he just completes passes. He's not the person that's going to throw a bunch of interceptions, and he will chip away at you. And I just don't see a scenario, just looking at it on paper, where the Panthers have a legitimate shot of winning this. I just don't.
I agree.
That's just me.
Nah, it's gonna be the Alvin Kamara in this one. He's gonna have 200 yards plus.
I reluctantly side with the Saints on this, and I don't want to. I would love the Panthers. I would love the Panthers to prove me wrong.
Between him receiving and running on the ground combined, he'll have over 200 yards in this game.
And also, Teddy Bridgewater is not as fast as everybody thinks he is.
Nope.
Not anymore.
He's
lost
got
a
new
lot
legs
of that
on
speed after that terrible.
I'm just saying.
Hey, y'all remember that episode of Family Guy where they finally gave Joe legs and he started being mean?
Right, exactly.
They put new legs on that man.
Oh my God, man.
That episode was good.
They put new legs on that man, bro. That's what they did.
Are you gonna give me the tire so I can throw it?
Yes, I am, Melvin. I'm gonna give it to you right now.
Who you picking, Lamb?
I got you, bro. I got you. So let's take a look. All right. So Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore are the best wide receivers and starting wide receivers on Carolina. So I will go against them every single football game unless they're taking on the Jets. Okay? If your best players are DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, I go against you in every single pick. Well, Robbie Anderson's been everywhere, bro. That guy gets tossed around like, I don't know, who's another running back? What was his name? The dude who played with Peyton Manning, and then he got his own contract. He used to play this. He played in Denver with Peyton.
C.J. Anderson?
No. Wide receiver.
He's been everywhere too. Oh,
he's
wide receiver?
Yeah, he got a max contract with Tennessee afterwards, after he left Denver. Eric Decker, yeah. He's been passed around more than Eric Decker, bro. 3 or 4 different teams.
Eric Decker's been with 7
years.
teams.
Yeah, seriously. Ridiculous. That's Robbie Anderson.
He
Robbie
played for the Patriots on a short stint.
he has a whole bunch of issues outside the league too. Like I'm sorry, the Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara, and then let's not forget that DB they have, Lattimore, and I believe they also who's that freaking linebacker? Who is that freaking linebacker?
Linebacker or defensive end? Because if you're
No,
talking about Cam Jordan, he's a defensive end.
No. The Saints have a linebacker who's one of my favorite linebackers to pick up on fantasy every single year. It is. Where is it? Okay, no, they don't have him anymore. No, there he is. Demario Davis. Demario Davis is a monster. Look at this man's defensive stats every single year. He's ridiculously good. If I can't get a Bobby Wagner or Blake Martinez or Miles Milano, I automatically go after him. So he's a monster. But yeah, the Saints. I mean, yeah, the Saints. The Saints are gonna win. So we're all taking the Saints on that.
All taking the Saints.
Yep.
Next questionable game. Gonna be a good one. Me and Hiatus agreed on this one before podcast. And this is going to be a great reaction for Lamb here in a second.
That makes me very nervous.
We got Packers and Texans chat.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Texans have actually been playing fairly good since they got rid of Bill O'Brien and dismantling that team and basically ruining that franchise. Packers just got walloped against Tampa Bay this past week, and all of us were completely wrong against that.
I mean, They
got beat down. So, can Green Bay retaliate and come back in this game? Or is Texas going to keep playing good and pull off the upset in Texas?
Y'all are joking, right? There's no way the
And
Packers lose this game.
big question, though.
There's no way the Packers lose this game.
Big question.
Aaron Rodgers is about to come back, look in the camera, and do what he did 2 years ago and say, R-E-L-A.
Aaron Jones
relax.
is not playing. Aaron Jones is out. And then I'm pretty sure, did Devontae Adams come back last week?
Yeah, Devontae Adams is playing.
Okay, so you got Devontae, but you're missing your key running back. Not playing against the Texans. I'm picking the upset.
The Packers win this game, and it's going to be
the
very
whole
much
Packers team is injured right now. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They got 10 people on the injury list right now.
So let me ask you this, Lamb, because I love asking these questions when I look at the last 5 games.
Yes, I'm single. Yes, hiatus. Next question.
All right. But the real question is, are you ready to mingle?
Jeez. Here we go.
Hey.
Here we go.
But I want to ask you a question. Would you pick Pittsburgh over Green Bay?
That's a Big 10-4.
All right. So in the Texans game against Pittsburgh, they lost by 7 points.
Okay. Oh,
I just don't. I just do not see. I just don't. Yes, because you got to look at if they were able to put up 21 points on Pittsburgh and keep the game close. They lost 28-21.
And you're gonna eat in front of us? What's wrong with you?
And then on top of that,
you're hungry. You better be sharing.
When they played the Texans, they went into overtime and they lost it in overtime. But they put up 36 points. I'm just saying, I believe that if there was going to be an upset this week, this is that game.
No.
I'm just saying. I mean, that's fine. I know that y'all don't want to. Y'all want to believe that Aaron Rodgers is the truth and all this type stuff. But I told you, Green Bay does Green Bay stuff.
Yes,
When the rubber hits the road, they start doing some weird things, and teams that shouldn't beat them. And then you know what y'all do? Y'all come back and be like, "Well, he just had a bad game." I'm
every
like,
single
bro, like
time.
every
Don't say that.
season he does this.
Yo,
Bro,
Every
if
season
I
he
could
does
get
this.
if I could get 3 free murders, one would be Aaron Rodgers every single year just for what he does to my Cowboys.
with the
Okay?
amount of injuries
Oh,
Green Bay
my
has and their main running back being out, I'm picking the upset. I'm taking Houston over Green Bay this week.
All you proved hiatus with your Pittsburgh and Houston analogy is that every team in the league has trouble with dual threat quarterbacks. That is the only point that you proved in that.
No, what I proved is the fact that you feel that Pittsburgh is a better team than Green Bay.
I know that.
Hold on.
Pittsburgh's a better
Okay,
team.
you know that for a fact. And
Yes.
I also stated the fact that this Houston team took them to the end, 28-21. It wasn't a blowout.
It
They
was
didn't
a
run them over.
Ass
They
game.
fought to the end.
Yep.
And that was with Pittsburgh, who you say is better than Green Bay.
How
so what do you
many
think
how many points do you need to win by to win an NFL football game?
Bro,
How many points do you need to win
Are
by?
we really
Same
doing
as
this?
any
Am I going to
other
hit that
sport.
Dominic Toretto?
All right,
Dominic
so-
Toretto? It doesn't
so-
matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning is winning. No one's going to care that the 49ers almost beat the Chiefs last year. All we know is Patrick Mahomes. Oh my gosh, he's the greatest Super Bowl team. They're going to repeat. No one cares that the Patriots got shut out of the first half in that Falcons game. All we remember is the dynasty. Tom Brady got another ring. The points don't matter. The only thing that matters is the W and the L. And I'm telling you, Aaron Rodgers is going to pick apart this non-existent Houston defense at all. It's not even going to be close.
8-10.
You have a healthy Houston defense. JJ Watt's going to be all over Aaron Rodgers.
All that noise we talked last week, we listened to you, we rode with you, 38-10.
Got smacked.
And this man looked disheveled. He looked like he aged 20 plus years. He didn't know where he was going, where he was coming. I'm just, all right.
JJ Watt is going to have
right,
Aaron
whatever,
Rodgers
bro.
running
Whatever,
for his life this weekend.
Is Aaron Rodgers a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson?
Yeah.
Is Devontae Adams a better wide receiver than anybody on Houston?
Yeah.
Who's the best player outside of Deshaun Watson that the Houston Texans have?
Brandon Cooks and JJ Watt.
No. No.
What?
Who's the best player aside from Deshaun Watson on the Houston Texans? The best athlete that they have on their team who can do multiple things.
JJ Watt.
JJ Watt is like 72 years old, bro. He's
like Watson. Oh my!
Are we forgetting that the Houston Texans have David Johnson?
Have you not seen what JJ Watt has done this year, coming back
Are
from
you
his
saying,
injury?
you're saying,
All right, whatever.
you're saying JJ Watt is a better athlete on the Houston Texans than David Johnson?
Yes.
Is that what y'all are saying?
David Johnson is a crippled dude now.
I need your help, GMD. Living. I need somebody. I need
Listen,
somebody.
I'm sure they will all agree with us.
I need somebody.
Please,
I need an adult.
Even when
JJ
it
or
comes
Geek, I know you guys are
even-
lurking.
Listen, even
Tell
when it
this man
comes
he's
down
crazy.
to the matchup prediction, it is nearly close to like 50%. Like they don't even trust Green Bay that much. It's like 57-41. Like, bro, they don't even give that much trust to Green Bay being able to wax Houston. I'm just saying, like, when you're talking about Aaron Rodgers, you're going off past glories and previous wins, and you're idolizing, but week over week,
And you
week
keep
over week,
stating this too.
Averages.
week over
They're
week,
on a rookie
situations
head coach,
happen.
and this is his first loss as well.
Well, no, because Aaron Rodgers is the great. So obviously they're going to the playoffs. Obviously they're going to run deep. Obviously because Aaron Rodgers is that guy. Like, what the heck, bro? He didn't do it last year.
Look,
Did he change from last year to this year?
Hey, do you remember
I need
that?
y'all to get off that bandwagon, bro.
Hey,
Bandwagon, bro.
hey, first of all, I hate the Green Bay Packers.
Oh
I
my
can't stand
God.
them, bro. I can't stand them. But are you gonna tell me that Houston Texans, they're such a horrible football team?
Well, that's fine, because I'll be texting you after they win. That's
Why
it.
even a
Facts.
question?
I'm cool with it.
We're
I'm
gonna
cool
be
with
lighting you
Melby,
up.
I'm cool with
Melby,
it.
I'm gonna talk to you real quick.
Yep.
I'm gonna talk to you real quick. Melby, in your pickup games, look, check this out. Melby, in your pickup games, Melby's a hooper, y'all. Melby goes out there and he plays basketball. If every time you go out to play basketball, every week you play 10 games and you win 8 of those 10 games, and then for some reason you get blown out and can't even score a point in one of those games, is that the normal or is that the one anomaly that almost never happened?
So are you saying I won off in those 8 games?
Yeah, you always go off in those 8 games. You're the reason why your team's winning over 80% of the time, every single time. And then one week you go out there and you don't get 80% of the games.
But see, that hasn't been the case for the Packers in the last year and a half because Aaron Jones has been carrying that team on his back.
What we're talking about wins. We're talking about wins. We can't take the NFL.
The only time they win is when they
players.
have them both healthy on the lineup.
Okay. So let's go against that. Look at the Houston Texans and what they do every single season. Is that a winning team or a losing football team?
As of right now, a losing team because of Bill O'Brien.
No, yeah. Well, the reasons are the reasons. I could use that same excuse with Mike McCarthy for the Green Bay Packers last year.
That's one person though.
Right?
Him and Aaron Rodgers were butting heads for like 3-4 years.
Winning is winning. I don't make excuses for my Dallas Cowboys. I ain't never come on here and made excuses for my Dallas Cowboys. When you're trash, you're trash. Texas football teams have been trash for like the last 4 years. Dallas and Houston. Green Bay is always a Super Bowl threat. No. Always. And we know it. Just like Tom Brady is always. It doesn't matter what league, what division Tom Brady's in. He's a Super Bowl threat. It's not because of Bill Belichick. It's because of Tom Brady. Oh, my right? Gosh. That's how it is. That's how good Tom Brady is. That's how good Aaron Rodgers is.
Oh my gosh!
You can take Deshaun Watson over Aaron Rodgers if you want to, bro. Y'all are talking crazy. I'm gonna let y'all team up on that. Let's do it.
We definitely team it out because we definitely texted you after that game.
Y'all do that because y'all been more wrong than
Green
right.
Bay is only favored by 3.5 points in this game. Houston is definitely upsetting them.
I don't care what Vegas says, bro. Vegas don't predict as many Super Bowls as I do.
This weekend, chat and hiatus and this guy right below me, is on the same level as me.
Y'all are absolutely crazy. Y'all are absolutely crazy. So let me type this out. Hiatus
has this crazy ass look on his face like he need to say something, chat. So let's hear him say it.
I really need them to get
Browns over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Go ahead and follow that, Melby. Go ahead and follow that, bro.
Bro, listen. First off, that was a joke. We already knew that. I told you.
Nope.
Told you that. It was a joke.
Melby, how many outs did we give him on that?
You did give me an out.
We gave him,
but I wanted that one. That was wishful thinking on my end. Now, Melby, correct me if I'm wrong.
All right.
What was my only reason for saying that the Browns would win? Any given Sunday.
Yep.
That's it. I didn't talk about defense. I didn't talk about offense. I didn't talk about better team.
Say that every single week on podcast.
Said, any given Sunday. That's it. That's all I had.
Given Sunday.
So it's not the same the way that I feel about this Texan Green Bay game. Like,
facts.
It's the same way that I've been saying about the Bills. The Bills have been
going to happen this week. That one's going to be the one.
They've been on a downward slope ever since your boy got embarrassed for the team. It messed up the team chemistry and everybody, because every time you go to any type of social media, there is him getting stiff-armed by Henry, and that plays psychologically with the team. And so they've been having it rough. I'm just saying, bro, you don't get smashed by by Tom Brady on the freaking Buccaneers 38-10, and then come back the next week like, yeah, I'm finna run over y'all. What?
You do.
Okay.
That's
No,
what you
Okay.
do.
not
Athlete.
without
You
the
shake off the
not
loss,
with
bro.
Okay.
not
shake-
without a top 5 running back not playing
Are you
this
saying?
week.
Are you saying Aaron Rodgers is so weak-minded, as good as he is, that he's gonna be down in the dumps? Like, oh man, that happened. So now we're gonna lose against one of the
I'm not
worst
saying that
football teams in the
I'm
league.
not saying that he's weak-minded. What I'm saying is you give another team that is of lesser value, that you're saying your Texans are trash, but you give them an opportunity post them getting blown out. Like, a blowout is debilitating for the organization. Like, how many times have we seen a blowout happen and furniture starts moving? Like, coaches get fired. Like, bro, like, players get traded. Like, these are things that happen that shifts the dynamic of an entire season. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying that he's weak-minded or he's not going to be able to play. What I'm saying is you give the opportunity for the lesser team, especially if they're scrappy, to come in and get a one-up on you, because you're still thinking about that and you just took. I'm sorry. There's no getting around that. If you get blown out, there's no way of washing that off in a week. You're not washing that off in a week.
You're programmed to, bro. You're programmed to. Look at what Baker Mayfield said. Did you see his interview after they got destroyed?
I don't trust Baker Mayfield, so I'm not listening to nothing he said until he wins a ring.
He's an athlete, bro.
I am not listening to no Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield is so overrated and ridiculous.
Now,
Aaron
okay,
Rodgers has a ring.
all right. So this is what you can do, right? You can tell me when Patrick Mahomes says a quote, because he is the reigning and defending Super Bowl champion, and I'll listen with all 2 ears and 2 eyes. Like, I'll be open. What you just say?
False.
But I'm not listening to a person that went 13-3 last year and couldn't get to the Super Bowl. I'm not listening to him.
If you jump into trials in D2 and you ain't never been flawless, and you're playing with somebody on your fire team who's been flawless, even though they haven't been flawless in 6 months, you listen to that person who's actually made it to the big one. That's what you do. You don't go in there and be like, I'm not going to listen to the only person.
And then when I listen to them, and then we don't go flawless, then I look at them crazy because they went flawless, but we can't go flawless. 13-3, and you can't get to the Super Bowl.
You know what that means? Then it was your fault they didn't go
been to
flawless.
the Super Bowl in over 10 years.
Bro, 13-3. They only lost 3 games last year, and they couldn't get to the Super Bowl. Explain yourself.
No, that feels horrible. I ain't gonna lie.
They haven't been to the Super Bowl in over 10 years, Lamb.
Come on, bro. Like, every year. Yeah, but all right. So
no buts.
All right,
no
bet.
buts. Same
bet.
standard. No buts. Same standard.
Bet.
When have the Texans ever been 13-2? Even with D-Hop, even with Lamar Miller, even with J.J. Watt in his prime. When has that ever happened, bro?
This year will mark the 10th year is the last time Green Bay was in the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? He's like, so let's put this in perspective. Like, so the one person went flawless. And hold up, no, let's put this in perfect perspective, right? So based off of your analogy, you want me to listen to the person that went flawless in D1, but has never gone flawless in D2. I'm supposed to listen to that guy.
No, in D2.
No, it was over 10 years, so that's D1. That's not D2. I'm not listening to him. Prove it in D2, and then I'll follow you. Not doing it, bro. Listen, I'm not even a hater.
Let's change this. Let's do this. This. Would you listen to someone in D2 who hasn't been flawless, but has consistently had a way better KDA than you?
Bro,
they
you
win
talking
more.
about?
Hold on. They win more games.
Now
They
we're
get
getting
more
into
votes.
apples and oranges. Okay, your
No,
KD.
it's the
All
law.
right, and
It's the
enable
law.
some cheat codes and get your KD up. All
It's
right,
the law
so
of
like,
averages.
bro,
No, I'm
listen.
talking about in trials. I'm not talking about just 6v6 where you can pad your numbers. I'm talking about in trials, in the playoffs. Someone has been more winning than you. Let's even throw out the regular season. Let's say both teams make the playoffs. Actually, in the NFL, it doesn't matter what your regular season record is.
Well, I mean,
The Giants won with 10 wins. They won a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So the regular season, as long as you make it, you make it.
Thanks for
Would
that
you
sub,
listen
man.
to
Thanks
in
for hopping
trials
in.
someone who has a better win rate
Wins on
in
a
trials
4-month
than
streak,
you,
guys. Big
even
shout
though
out to
neither
Win.
one of you
Thank
have
you
been
very
flawless?
much, Win.
Wouldn't you
Much
think you can
appreciated, man.
learn something from that person? To where if you did follow their strats,
What's
you can
going
get your
on,
KD
JT?
up, then y'all can go flawless.
yeah, but I was talking about your because see now you're trying to diminish it because that's a little bit different. That's a little different when you're talking about
Change it up.
somebody walking me through in trials because they're better and they're critiquing where I could possibly be better. That's different. But I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is a man who has not been to the Super Bowl in 10 years, but everybody acts like every year this is the GOAT. Even though Brady consistently keeps going to the playoffs,
When have the Texans been to the Super Bowl?
to look at Aaron Rodgers like he's the best guy, and Aaron Rodgers does Aaron Rodgers things every single year that keeps them from getting to that final dance.
When have the Houston Texans been to the Super Bowl? We're talking about, the Green Bay Packers. You know what you sound? You sound like one of them anti-Dallas Cowboys haters. Oh, the Cowboys haven't been to the Super Bowl in 20 years.
Bro.
When have the Houston Texans been there?
I'm gonna pull one of your lines. I'm an alpha male. I'm not gonna let you go do that to me. I'm not gonna let you do me like that. I'm not gonna let you do me like that. So listen.
Alpha male.
So listen. I am gonna answer the question, but I'm gonna
like a hunter over here,
but I'm not. But I'm not gonna let you put the words in my mouth because I'm not hating on Green Bay. I enjoy Green Bay. I would love to see them get over the hump, but Green Bay does Green Bay things every year without fail
against the Houston Texans. We're not talking about Green Bay.
Yeah, but okay, so the Houston Texans have been really good. They've been fighting throughout this entire season, and you're telling me that Aaron Rodgers is just going to go in there, no running back, and he's just going to step over them. That's what you're telling me.
Yep.
All right, we'll see Sunday.
I agree with this guy.
Houston Texans
Go Texans.
1-5.
Upset any given Sunday.
I understand that they're 1-5.
No
but when you look at who played,
they lost their best player and they have no head coach. Their head coach was fired mid-season.
Yeah, and then they came out and smashed up their next game.
You talk about
according to you, Green Bay will not make it this year because they have a new head coach. So it really doesn't matter what we're talking about.
Yeah, you said this a couple of podcasts ago that they're not going to make it because of their head coach.
We're talking about playoffs. I'm talking about this game. We're not talking about whether the Green Bay Packers are going to make it to the NFC Championship.
I've already answered that.
Texans are a losing football team. The Green Bay Packers got blown out last week, but they are a winning football team. Y'all keep trying to change the narrative. We're not talking about the playoffs.
No narrative change. I believe that Houston will upset Green Bay.
Facts.
I believe that Green Bay will go down versus Houston.
I agree.
And your reasoning is because the Green Bay Packers got blown out by Tampa Bay.
Right.
And Green Bay is missing half of their team tomorrow.
That is my reasoning. That is my reasoning based off of what I've seen both teams play. And the chemistry, because we've seen this play out, even though you want to say weak-minded, I don't think it's weak-minded. I just don't think that you can brush off an ass whooping. I'm sorry. I don't believe that.
I don't think so.
I don't believe it. bro. Like this is your
Texas
moment.
gonna
You
be
are
all over
Aaron
that defense.
freaking Rodgers going against the freaking Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is what you do. You face many quarterbacks that have been at the helm of the Bucks, and they beat
and those
38
games between
wins,
those
bro.
two have
That is
historically
rivalry,
been so close. And then he gets his ass whooped in this game.
bro. Like, we'll see. Because we can keep going back and forth, but we'll have to see.
But you and I talked pre-fantasy football draft that the Buccaneers were going to have a top defense in the league.
And it's falling
apart. You and I talked before fantasy football that the Bucks will have a top D. You and I had that discussion off stream, just talking about football, that the Bucks would have a top defense in the league. We talked about it. We talked about Kansas City Chiefs having a top defense in the league. We did.
Yep.
So why are we shocked that one of the top defenses in the league shut down an offense? Defenses shut down offense. That's what their job is.
It wasn't just the defense, bro. It was the offense too. Like they put them over their knee like a newborn baby and spanked that butt.
Don't forget Ronald Jones had over 100 yards rushing in that game. Their whole offense had a field day.
No one's Ronald Jones. I've said that Mike Evans is a top receiver in the league, and his stats would look a whole lot better, but they have to defensive pass interfere him. They have to. He gets passing interference on him more than any other wide receiver in the league, bro. They can't look like they can't. And the Bucks were the top passing offense in the NFL last season. Like, who are you talking to? You know who I am? I am the stats guy, bro.
If you're gonna take, if Aaron Rodgers is so good and can do anything against anybody, why did he miss 19 passes and only? Did he even throw for 200 yards last week?
Okay, y'all know the difference between being a good player and being a perfect player, right? You realize Patrick Mahomes throws interceptions. Y'all acting like I'm saying.
I didn't even mention the interceptions.
Who goes undefeated in the NFL, y'all? Y'all acting like
the
losing
Patriots
a game
did until the Super Bowl. Thank you. And the Dolphins went undefeated.
Wait, how long ago was that, man? How long ago was that?
The Patriots was in 07. Statistically, regular season, we were undefeated, and we were the last team to do it.
Game, right? They lost the championship game.
Yes,
right?
but we were the last team to go undefeated in the regular season.
I didn't say in the regular season. I said what NFL team goes undefeated.
You didn't state season. You just said undefeated. So I said Patriots.
Yeah, and you were wrong, sir.
Not technically. You didn't technically state. But I also did state the Dolphins.
I said that's like me asking a question, who has the cleanest hospital? And Melby's like, University has the cleanest hospital on second floor. Like, what? Don't put limitations on it, bro.
Hey, Lamb, let me make you laugh. Let me make you laugh, Lamb.
Nobody.
So Dangalang said, Lamb serious. He took off his mask.
Bro. I ain't had a mask on the last 3 straight. I ain't had a mask on last 3.
But listen, we can, like I said, we can agree to disagree. If Aaron Rodgers does what you expect him to do, because like I said, I don't knock your numbers, your what you research. This is me saying if there's going to be an upset, I believe that it's this game.
Yep.
And I gave my reasoning as to why, which is completely different than what I said about Cleveland, because that was just fluke. All I'm saying is we can agree to disagree, and we'll see what happens on Sunday. Like I love the intensity. I love you defending, because again, we don't want to disrespect the team. I don't want to disrespect them, but I just believe this is a perfect opportunity for an any given Sunday scenario.
My son brought me a root beer, y'all.
Oh, I'm jealous. Root beer's so good. Speaking of that, I need to get another drink real quick, chat.
Hiatus.
Yep.
Have you tried not throwing?
No, not at all.
Me neither. Hey, me neither. Watch me play trials. Me neither.
On this.
He asked if I ever tried not throwing, and I'm like, nope.
Nope.
Not at all.
It is a religion.
He said,
bro.
Him neither.
That's
He
all
be
I
in
do.
trials throwing.
I mean, throwing, bro. Hey, hiatus. Me and my trial team, we'll get those first 4 wins quick. Like, oh yeah, we got this. That 5th game is a joke. Okay.
All right. So let me share this story because this is the most recent time that I went into competitive trials, right? So first we went into competitive. It was me, Livin, and Vet. Vet came in, steamrolling through everybody, and we finally ended up running into some comp. And so after everything was said and done, we were talking about things we could do better. Like you said, he's the guy, and he goes, "Well, I'm not gonna say anything to hiatus because he's already admitted that he's not competitive." I said, "Exactly. I don't even know why I'm here.
Yeah.
I don't even know why you brought me in here."
Because even though people say that we throw hiatus, you and I, like we're smart players, bro. Like we are.
Listen, I try to do the
We're
best.
smart. Yeah.
I had a couple 2v1s and I won. I had a couple 3v1s and I outsmarted. Like I can give you situational greatness, but I cannot sustain that level throughout the entire time because I don't think like a PvP player. I think like a PvE player.
Right.
Yep.
I'm used to shooting bots, man.
Yeah. For real.
Next game is a good one as well, guys. We got Bucks and Raiders. You can never count out the Raiders. Can never count out the Raiders. The Bucks did just smash up on Green Bay. But the big question, who is stopping Josh Jacobs? And who the hell is going to stop Darren Waller? Because there ain't nobody stopping Darren Waller.
So I will say if
There's
AB
going to be
was
an
on
upset. This is my upset, by the way.
And this is going to be a very good game.
if AB was on the team,
He's not going to play until week 9. His
Right.
first week is going to be week 9.
If he was, then by far I'm going with Tampa. Like I don't see them stopping him. But he's not. And so when it comes to this particular game, this is that moment where either the Raiders are going to put up or they're going to shut up because the last time the Raiders were able to get into contention to get their stuff together, they faced the Bucks in the Super Bowl and they lost, and it's been a downward slope for them ever since. Like they've had some great talents that came through. I mean, Randy Moss was on the squad, but he didn't want to play for them. Like they've had talent.
Khalil Mack, Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree. I mean, Jesus Christ.
But they can't
Jordy
put it
Nelson.
together. Now this year, they have been playing like a team that wants to win.
Yes.
So it's kind of one of those things where I feel that it'll go back and forth. But if they give Brady an opportunity at the end of the game, that's a GG.
Right.
That's how I feel about it. Like if it comes down to Brady having to march down that field, that's a GG for you. Because Gronkowski been on a tear. I don't know where he came from.
He almost had 100 yards receptions on 6 receptions last week.
Exactly. I don't know if somebody spiked his.
He had more receptions and more yards than Devontae Adams did.
Bro, I don't know if they put
and the dude is crippled and old.
Spice in his drink, but he came out and played like his former self.
I'll tell you
that's going to be a problem.
It wasn't even Gronk. Gronk's been ready. If you look at the first 5 games of this season, Gronk has been open, looking for the ball. But you remember what the head coach said. He's like, "Oh, well, he's not going to be the same anymore. So he can, if all we need to do is."
And that was proven in training camp. Gronk was not in shape when he got to training camp, and he dealt hard with the humidity and heat down there. Look where you've been playing at his whole career.
Exactly.
First of all, what happened last week is Tom Brady said, "No, Arians, I'm gonna run
halfway through
offense."
the season.
Yeah, he said, "I'm gonna run the offense that has gotten me more Super Bowl rings than you can count wins in a season." I'm sorry, that's what he said. Tom Brady's like, "I'm gonna do this my way," and look what happened, bro. Look what happened. It motivated the defense because Melby, we haven't even seen the Bucks defense play like that, bro. And they've been up against way worse teams and they haven't played like that. They almost shut them out. They almost shut them out, bro. That was almost a shutout game, like Cleveland and Pittsburgh. That was almost a shutout game. Let Tom Brady be
Shots
LeBron
fired.
James. Let
Shots
Tom
fired.
Brady be the
Okay.
head coach and
Okay.
the offensive coordinator. Okay, let him just take control. It's Tom Brady. Who doesn't let Tom Brady take control? I'm
This is
sorry.
true.
I'm not going to try to coach with my no Super Bowl rings. I'm not going to try to out coach Tom Brady. If Tom Brady's telling his offense something, I'm going to listen as an offensive coordinator because I might learn something.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady ran the entire offense. He was not taking calls. He was not doing just what the head coach and the offensive coordinator wanted him to do. He said, no, I know who I can trust. I've been playing with Gronk almost my entire career. I trust him. He knows my hot routes. He knows my non-verbal signals. And when a quarterback and a target know each other's non-verbal signals, oh, you can have fun all day long out there, bro.
Big facts.
Yeah.
Everybody else is still learning Tom Brady's, okay? So it's not Tom Brady has never had to go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and learn their system. When you're a losing organization and a winner comes to your system, all of y'all need to learn Tom Brady's system, okay? And that's what they need to start doing. Listen to Tom. The guy's ready. The guy's in better shape than, well, I wouldn't say than me, but he's in better shape than a lot of people. For his age, he's in better shape than me. Like the guy's whole life is training. His entire life is training, bro. Listen to Tom Brady. Let him throw who he wants to throw to. If he wants to target Gronk 13 times, let him target Gronk 13 times. Because even if Gronk only catches it 6 times, 2 of those are going to be for touchdowns. All right? There is no Travis Kelce or Greg Kittle without Rob Gronkowski. Okay? There's no such thing as a Travis Kelce or a Greg Kittle without players like Rob Gronkowski. He paved the way. Him and, well, Gonzalez, too. I mean, come on now.
And
I
Jimmy Graham.
was about to say, don't leave Gonzalez out.
You can't forget about Jimmy Graham either before he got traded away from the Saints.
What did Jimmy Graham do to piss off the football gods to where no one wants to throw this man the football? Because if you take Jimmy Graham and you put him on the Carolina Panthers, I take the Panthers over the Saints in this game. You put Jimmy Graham on there and let Teddy Bridgewater throw to him when he's shuffling around in the back, I choose the Panthers over the Saints in that game. That's how much I believe in Jimmy Graham as a tight end and as a pass catcher. Why does no other quarterback see this? Did they forget? I need them to look at footage. Dude, Jimmy Graham was eating the football league in receptions, in touchdown. He was eating. He was this before there was Ezekiel
He was basically
Elliott,
a wide receiver.
You remember
Pretty
Jeremy Shockey?
Yep.
Bro,
Yep.
Eating. What was the guy from Baltimore who ended up getting Joe Flacco the ring with Ray Lewis? What was that tight end's name? Dang it. But they were eating. I'm not even going to look it up. They were eating.
Yeah.
I need Jimmy Graham to get him a quarterback who wants to throw to tight ends, bro. Facts.
So we picking in these games. Lamb, you taking the Bucks as it's looking like.
Do we have to pick an upset or do we not have to pick an upset?
It's your true feeling. Whichever one you want to do.
My true feeling is the Bucks win this game. But if there was going to be a huge upset, it's going to be this game.
I'm going with the Bucks.
Fair enough. I gotta take the Bucks as well.
Hey, yo, we agree way more than we disagree.
It's hard not to. It really is. But it's like Lamb said, if there's gonna be another upset, the Raiders can do it. They've already proven it once this year against Kansas City. So
Yep.
And that's the next game, actually, chat. Kansas City and Broncos. This is going to be a nasty game tomorrow. It is an afternoon game. I live here in Colorado. It's going to be cold as hell, and we're also going to be in the snow.
And Gordon's back, and Kansas City's defense will not be able to stop that man after a few carries. Like the Denver Broncos might get stopped on offense for the first 3 possessions, but if they
Mhm.
keep letting Melvin Gordon tuck his shoulder and slam into DBs in that cold weather, that Kansas City, they're gonna give,
Kansas City
bro.
defense isn't good to
They're
begin
gonna
with.
give.
This is true.
Yeah, they're gonna give, man. Because the only thing that hurts worse than getting hit is getting hit when it's cold outside.
This
So
is true.
if they keep letting Melvin Gordon pull an Ezekiel Elliott and a Derrick Henry and just go at someone instead of trying to juke, if they just let him start crashing into those DBs and linebackers, Denver is going
Yo,
to slow
Mia,
the game
thank you
down.
for that
Kansas City's still going
sub.
to win, but Denver's definitely going to slow the game down and try to chip away 3 points, 3 points. I don't know if Denver actually scores a touchdown, but they're going
You
to kick
didn't
some
have to
field
do
goals
that,
for sure.
Mia. Much. Thank you very much,
Yeah, I'm
Mia.
going with Kansas City. Now I don't know if Le'Veon Bell is going to get his go this week or not, but just having him out there is something on the scouting report that you got to look out for, because he can add an extra dimension to running in conjunction with Clyde that they already have. So I just believe that I
Clyde's gonna
think
get
that
the main of the carries in this one. Le'Veon gonna be the third down back and a pass catching back in this one, I believe, so he can get familiarized first, and then I think in like a couple of games or so, they'll probably go to a 50-50 roll. Because they're Le'Veon not gonna get the ball.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, in this game, when I agree with what Lamb is saying about smashing into their defense. We don't when we talk about Chiefs. This is the thing. We don't talk about defense because it's non-existent.
Non-existent.
we
It,
only we
we
only
only saw it during the
address
playoffs last year, and
right.
that was the only time.
We only address the offense, and I think with if they're able to get Le'Veon Bell in there, I think it'll be enough firepower to get them through this.
Yeah, agreed.
Because it's not going to be a defensive battle.
No, it's not. Uh, it really isn't. And the you can't really count the Broncos out because they've been playing good even with all their injuries they've had in their passing core. No fans questionable. They pretty positive. They said he's going to be available, but he's a big factor. And then
Right.
also with not having Cortland Sutton, obviously that was a big miss in their wide receiver core this year. He's done for the year. Um, that and their quarterback situation. That's I'm not sure what's going to go on there in the future there with their quarterback situation either. But for this game, I'm picking Kansas City. Melvin Gordon going to have his way with the Chiefs defense. But Kansas City going to win this game. Even though it's going to be cold. It's going to be 15 degrees and snowing. But I'm picking Kansas City. And I think they're going to win by more than what they're favored for, actually. They're only favored by 7.5. I say Kansas City wins this game. I'm going to say 34-14.
Oof, you're giving Denver a lot of points.
I'm only giving them 2 touchdowns. And they're both
Oof,
going to be by Melvin Gordon.
probably. Um, I don't know if they score a touchdown. I think they're gonna maybe have 9 points, three field goals.
Ooh.
But if they did get touchdowns, it would have to be the quarterback himself running it in or Melvin Gordon pushing it in for sure. I agree with that. Or maybe well I would say the only one who's gonna catch a receiving touchdown would be the tight end, would be Fan if they are gonna score a touchdown.
Agreed.
All 3 Kansas City.
That's
Yep.
right.
I don't even have to write that one down,
Next big game.
but I'm going to.
Next big game. We have my Patriots hosting the 49ers. My Patriots have been junk all season long. Of course, we were without Cam Newton. Not last week, but the week before. Last week he came back. They didn't really do much of anything. We lost against the Broncos.
Big facts.
49ers are without Raheem Mostert this week. He got put on IR a couple days ago. And
Jerick McKinnon ain't no slouch.
And you also can't forget about Jeff Wilson Jr. Jeff Wilson Jr. goes off every single time he gets a role like this. And Tevin Coleman. You can't forget about Tevin Coleman either. So they still have 3 running backs back there that can still do damage.
Tevin Coleman is one of them itty-bitty running backs where as soon as you say hike, he disappears behind the offensive line. DBs don't know where to find him. Where's this guy at? He disappears behind them big offensive linemen, man. I like running backs like that. I like them little guys who disappear. I've been on defense before where as soon as you say hike, you can't even see where he is. You know what I'm saying? You can't even see where the running back is.
I was one of those. Back in the day.
I hated that. I'm like, where is this guy at?
Don't worry about it. Woo. You'll see me down the field.
You'll see me. I'm in the red zone.
Exactly.
Stating facts on this one. We do not lose back-to-back games at home.
With Tom
ever.
Brady.
Nah, even as a Patriots organization. We hardly ever lose back-to-back games at home.
Because you had Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski.
I said ever.
I'm trying to get. Well, we don't know ever yet. This is Cam Newton, bro.
This is even going back to the 90s. Even when we went to the Super Bowl a couple of times and got our asses handed to us. We hardly lost back-to-back games at home. This with Drew Bledsoe. You got to remember that. Drew Bledsoe wasn't a slack when he was with New England before he got hurt.
Yeah, and I would still take Cam Newton over Drew Bledsoe. So.
Oh, I would too.
Yeah, I see your point.
But
Jinx, you owe me a coat.
We suck this year. We're losing this game against the 49ers at home.
You have a brand new...
And I'm a true Patriots fan, chat.
At the most important position in football. We don't expect the Patriots. We don't expect the Cincinnati Bengals. We don't expect the Carolina Panthers or anybody with a brand new person at the most important position, quarterback, to even make the playoffs. We just don't expect it. So at least
maybe make it as a wild card this year if we can pull our heads out of our ass. But other than that,
I say throw.
We're not winning that division, and I don't even think we're even going to beat Miami for second place in the division this year, honestly.
Dangling will be happy to hear that. He loves them.
Dolphins. I've already told him that a couple of times already this year.
He loves them Dolphins, bro. And we get to see Tunga Tuivasa start, not this week because they have a bye, but next week. I'm excited to see what
it's going to be a good. It's going to be a good thing. It's going to be interesting.
I think it's stupid that they're starting him, but I'm still excited to see what he's going to do.
What's your guys' take on this Patriots-Niners? I'm taking Niners. And like I said, I'm a Patriots fan.
Greg Kittle, that defensive line, that offensive line.
Nobody's stopping George Kittle in this game.
Yeah, and
there's nobody stopping George Kittle in this game.
Like Melby went over, and they had running backs last season. I believe everybody was over like 600 yards and had at least 4 or 5 touchdowns apiece. Like, yeah, you're not stopping this running game, and no one's stopping Kittle. Sorry. I agree with Melby 100%.
And this is Jimmy G's return to New England, guys, as well. He hasn't been in New England since we got rid of him. He's signed with 49ers on that extension.
This isn't even a question. It's not even a question. We already know what's about to happen.
You're saying Cam Newton because you're a Cam Newton fan. I already know it's coming.
I mean, I
want to side with you, but as a true Patriots fan, I do not see it as a Patriots fan this year.
Listen.
I need to hear him say it.
Listen. I'm not going to say that the Patriots will pull this off. But if they had a shot, it is with this running quarterback because this man does get touchdowns. Like,
he does, and he gets down and dirty.
Touchdowns, bro. Like, he does put his body on the line. He does go out there and he plays hard. And this is so, it's tough because the 49ers are peaking at the right time. Like they're getting their ish together right when you need to get your ish together, because now everybody's kind of figured out the schemes of what everybody else is going to do. So it's going to make it tough for Cam Newton to do what Cam Newton does. Plus, with him missing time from reps and whatnot, like he may get over anxious. We know that happens, and he ends up making bad choices and calls. He's not going to beat you with his arm, but he will beat you with his legs. So
That's facts. It's a
it's
hard
tough.
game to choose, and I had a
It's
hard
tough.
time choosing against my team.
It's tough. But I'm going to say 49ers. As
Ooh.
much as I would love to say Cam is going to pull this out, as much as I would love to say that he's going to dance in the end zone all on the 49ers, I don't believe that defensively they can get enough stops that will put him in position to win this game. Like
I
I'm
agree.
sorry, I don't believe in the defense.
I don't believe in our defense. Six of our defensive stars sat out this year.
Yeah, I don't believe in the defense. So with that being said, with it being a heavily offensive game, yeah, I'm gonna go with the 49ers.
Thank you, Hiatus. Love you, buddy.
All three of us Niners. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it.
I had already typed that, by the way. I had already typed all.
We got 3 more games, chat. 3 more
I need to
games
go
in the
take-
NFL. The next one is another very good game. We have an undefeated Seattle Seahawks team against a Arizona Cardinals team who's been playing good in the last couple of weeks.
Oh man,
And Kenyon Drake went off last week. We haven't seen that yet this year. Can Kenyon Drake keep it consistent enough to open up that pass game even more for Kyler Murray to where they can pull off an upset against Seattle and beat Seattle in Arizona?
No. Next question. No, Seattle wins this game. I'll take Chris Carson over Kenyon Drake. I'll take DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett as a combo this year over D Hop and Larry Fitzgerald. Maybe not every year, but this year I will. And I'll definitely take Russell Wilson over Kyler Murray. So for me, it's going to be
Russell Wilson
exciting
won an MVP this year.
It's going to be a shootout. I think Russell Wilson is the only reason that Seattle wins this game himself. By the way, Russell Wilson has been almost the only reason why Seattle ever wins any game.
this is true.
Since the Legion of Boom left, it's been all him.
Yep. Big facts.
I'm going to rock with that.
And DK Metcalf's been a lifesaver for him the last year and a half, too.
So good. He's so good. He's so
Tyler
huge.
Lockett's been hurt. He can't stay on the field.
This is another game where I go, let's look at the last 5 teams that they played. Well, let's peer into the past so that we can see the future. Seattle played Minnesota, Miami, Dallas, New England, and Atlanta.
All very, very
Not
close. One score.
Well, no, this
games.
wasn't Dallas hobbled.
No, that was a healthy Dallas team.
True that.
Yeah,
True
this
that.
wasn't
That was a
Dallas hobbled.
very healthy
A healthy Dallas
team.
team
Yeah.
still has a trash defense. We got
Yes.
injured, but our defensive players went out week 1. Y'all realize that, right? Our defensive
Right.
players and our offensive linemen went out week 1. But I understand
No.
what you're saying. But even
Yeah.
if they were 100% healthy, Dallas's 100% healthy defense is still garbage. Look at last season, so it don't even matter.
But still, every single game Seattle has won has been by a one-score game. Even by the Dolphins, it was by 8 points. Still technically a one-score game.
Their closest game was
Sorry, the
last.
Falcons game was a 13-point loss. I didn't see that one.
The closest game was the Minnesota game.
Right, and that was just this past weekend.
Right.
And should
But
they
then
have that game?
they should have. I don't know why.
Man, they should have lost that game. I don't know how they ended up pulling that one out.
Yeah.
But hey, they made it do what it do. But then
Yep.
when you look at Arizona, They played the Washington football team. They played Detroit. They played Carolina. They played the Jets, and then they played a hobbled Dallas Cowboy team.
All very bad teams this year.
Right. And the teams that they lost to the Panthers and they lost to Detroit. So yeah, I can't with good conscience disrespect Seattle like that and say that Arizona is going to beat them. Like I don't see that happening.
Just looking at the weapons that Arizona has, though, if they can get it together, it's a slim possibility.
Melby.
But if they do get it together, they can have an opportunity of pulling this out because Seattle's defense, like you guys just said, isn't that good.
Melby, do you remember the Lakers? Remember when they compiled all that talent and on paper it looked like they were about to go 82-0?
I do.
And remember they were trash.
I do.
I'm just saying, like a lot of times we look at what the paper says, but on field, bro, if they were a quality team, they would not have lost against the Panthers.
No.
They would have not lost against Detroit. They would be undefeated right now. This is like Dallas, the Jets, Carolina, Detroit, Washington. That's a gimme.
Yeah.
That's a gimme. Those are all gimmies because none of those teams right now are going to do anything going forward.
Correct.
So I like yes, on paper they look great, look awesome, but that's paper. It's not reality.
Yeah, paper or plastic. Paper or plastic.
Can we just put this piece of paper in the shredder real quick?
Right, exactly. Like, no way, bro.
I do agree with you guys, though, but I did want to bring that up as a deciding factor, though, that if they do get things going, they can be a very solid football team.
I would, listen, the only way that I can see Arizona winning this team is that Russell Wilson has a horrible game,
which we haven't seen.
I mean, an atrocity of a foot. Like he has an Aaron Rodgers moment.
Right.
Like
he has to go under 200 yards, allows fumble, a couple picks.
He has a Tom Brady. What down is it moment? Like he has to have an ultimate breakdown mentally in order for this to work, bro. Like that's the only way I see. Otherwise, you're gonna be picking apart this Arizona team. Like, come on, bro. You know Russell can do it with his legs. He can do it with his arm. And so far, the team has bought in to what he's putting out. They believe that they are a contender, and so they've been playing like it. So I don't think this is the week they go down.
And I agree. Seattle's winning this game, and Russell Wilson's not gonna have a bad game. That dude's gonna go off this game. So that's 2 for Seattle. Lamb, you got Seattle?
Yep, Seattle, 100%.
All right. Now we're skipping over the last Sunday game and going to Monday because Sunday's game, the last game, is going to be the best game this weekend. Monday's game, though, the Bears and Rams. Can Nick Foles keep this Bears team going on his back with that defense?
Now, this is where me and Lamb fight. The Bears are taking down them Rams that you keep rambling about being the most, succinct team that's out there that you've seen offensively, defensively. They're going down Monday. Them Bears are going to spank that butt.
They're a very mirror image of each other between defense and offense. They match up very well.
Agreed.
They what?
Chicago's beating LA.
Stephen A is about to come out, y'all. Stephen A is
Okay.
So wait a second. You're gonna what? So what are you guys telling me? No, wait. Let me hit it. Let me get this again. You're saying that the Bears, you're saying that Chicago matches up well against the Rams? The last time I checked, Aaron Donald is a bad man. The last time I checked, Robert Woods is a bad man. The last time I checked, Jared Goff throws for over 4,000 yards every single season and 28 touchdowns. Who does that on Chicago? Who does that on Chicago?
Who's got a
Nobody
Super
does.
Bowl?
Nick Foles. One person. One person.
Oh, he was ready for that. He was too quick. He was so quick.
The Rams are a better football team. They are a better football team. Period.
Right.
On paper.
I don't need to say anything else.
On paper.
Aaron Donald, Jared Goff, Robert Woods, Cooper,
So
Taylor
let's do it.
Higbee.
Tyler
This
Higbee's
is-
actually out this game.
Oh yeah, he
This-
was questionable. You
this
right?
This is another one. This is another one. Look at the last 5 games.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They played trash teams.
look
The
at
Rams
the-
have played trash teams.
the
No, I know
Bears.
the stats. I know the stats. I'm that stats guy.
You are, but you acting like you're not seeing it.
The last
What I'm
3
seeing
weeks, the Bears
is
have played
Jalen
competitive
Ramsey
teams.
Yes,
and
they are.
Aaron Donald. What I'm saying is Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald, Jared Goff, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp. This exact same squad has been to the Super Bowl in the last 3 years.
What have I stated the
Minus-
last 2
minus
podcasts, though, about
Brandon
the
Cooks
LA Rams and
and
Jared
an injured
Goff?
Todd Gurley. Minus Brandon Cooks and an injured Tom Gurley. They've been to the Super Bowl in the last 3 years. They are a constant threat to go to the NFC Championship game. Even though I will give the Bears this, so are the Bears. The Bears should have been in a freaking Super Bowl
saying.
if it wasn't for Cody Parkey. Yes,
I'm
Cody
just
Parkey,
saying.
I'm talking about you.
I'm just
Imagine
saying.
a kicker ruining your
Mhm.
Super Bowl chances.
I'm
That
just saying.
That was
Sad.
a great football team.
See,
That
this
was a
is
great football team. I'm not gonna lie. That was a
This
great
is-
football team.
this is where I have the problem. So like the matchup prediction, right? So ESPN right now has it 70 basically to 30. So they have the Bears with a 30% chance to win over the Rams, a 70% chance
Which
to
I
win.
don't
think-
agree with.
I think that that's BS.
It should be
I'm
about,
sorry.
I would give it a 55-45.
Wait.
Exactly.
What were the stats? Say that again.
70 to 30% chance the Bears are winning the game. They're giving the
What?
Rams a 30% chance.
No. Opposite.
Opposite. Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna
okay.
say.
I was gonna
No,
say.
that sounds about right.
I thought that's what you said was the Bears were winning by 70%. I was like, what?
that sounds about right.
Because I was gonna
That
say
sounds-
it's the stat line's got the Rams winning by 6.
I would say 65, not 70. I would say 65-35, not 70-30.
I would give the Rams maybe a 55-45 spread, but I would not give them 60 or 70. That's
Hell
just
So you're
no.
saying the Rams are a better football team. Thank you, Hiatus. Thank you.
they still gonna lose though.
So the one thing I do want to bring up, and I have brought this up in the past podcast.
All I wanted was for you to admit that the Rams are a better football team. They still might lose, but the Rams are a better football team. So I appreciate that, buddy.
All
They are a
right,
better-
you're very welcome.
I
even
do
if it's by
wanna-
1%, even if it's 51-49, the Rams are a better football team. Better coach. Better coach. No, listen, better coach. I still think Nick Foles is a better quarterback, though. I will give you that, because you can't knock Nick Foles out just because he's playing a little bit okay. Like, I will give Nick Foles the better quarterback over Jared Goff. But everybody else on the Rams is better than everybody else on the Bears outside of the quarterback. The coach is better, and every other player is better
I'm
on the
just
Rams.
tired of hearing about these Rams
I am
because
as well.
you literally held us up by it wasn't gunpoint, it was by finger point, and made us rank these doggone Rams
in the top 3.
right, and was like, "Why do you have them so low on the power rank?" I'm like, "I'm over these Rams, man."
No, see, you can't do your power. Y'all still doing your power rankings based upon wins and losses. My power rankings are not done number one who's undefeated. I don't. I said that in I believe the second podcast. I don't believe in your record. You are what your record says you are. I don't. I don't trust teams that barely win. You realize the Seattle Seahawks have never been in my top power three? You want to know why? Because they always have to come back and win the football game. Why are they so close?
I
If
don't know.
Russell Wilson's an MVP, why are they always fighting for
Because
their
their defense
lives?
is not there anymore, and Russell Wilson's been running for his life for the last
And
3 years because they have no
also,
offensive line.
we was talking about the Green Bay Packers versus Houston Texans today, and what happened to them against the Bucks. Have I ever had the Packers in my top three either? Nope.
No. Well, wait, they were
Nope.
close.
Nope.
What week was that?
I'll give them in the
What
top
week was
five.
that? They
Most
were
of the time-
come on, Melby, help me
most of
out.
the-
They were
no,
up
no.
there.
I want to
Mo-
say in
Mo-
episode
Mo-
3, you actually had
Maybe
that
five.
number 3 on your
I
phone.
think,
no, no.
yeah.
I
I
want to
think
say
it's 4, bro.
episode 3, you
Yeah.
had them
Oh, I
third
think
on
it's
your
4,
power
bro.
rankings.
I think it's
Yep.
4. I think
We
I
gotta
had them
we gotta
tied.
pull that tape.
I'm pretty
I think
positive you
remember them
listed them in the
being
top
up
3.
there, bro.
Let me
I'm
tell
pretty
y'all something.
positive about it.
There was only let me get low.
But
Let
I
me
do
get
want to
low.
state this, and I brought
Let me
this
get
up
low.
in past podcasts about Jared Goff and being inconsistent and being turnover prone. The Rams have led the league in the last few years in turnover ratio on the defensive side of that ball. And they also have Khalil Mack.
The Rams don't have Khalil Mack. The Bears.
No, I'm
have
saying
Khalil.
the Bears. The Bears have been one of the best turnover defensive teams, and they have Khalil Mack on that defense as well. With
Do you
Jared
wanna
Goff
know-
being inconsistent and turnover prone.
Do
And
you
that's why
know-
I'm giving the Bears this game.
Do you want to know? And I believe through the career, Nick Foles might have more picks, more turnovers than Jared Goff. But do you want to know why the Rams are just a better football team, and even why the football gods can look at the same stats that I do and see that the Rams have only beaten trash teams, even though the Bears have beaten legitimate teams, and the Rams are still being picked? It's because of one person. Y'all keep thinking Jared Goff, Jared Goff. It's not because of Jared Goff that they're being picked. Aaron Donald is a problem. I know we're talking about Khalil Mack this, Khalil Mack that. Aaron Donald is a problem. He alone is the only reason that anyone counts the Bears in playoff and Super Bowl contention for this team. It is not Jared Goff. It is Jalen Ramsey and it is Aaron Donald, one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. And Aaron Donald is the best defensive lineman in the league. You have to put two people on him every play or he's getting to the quarterback. That's what J.J. Watt used to be before injuries and age, right? Before injuries and age, if you didn't double team J.J. Watt's still going to sack you 3 times a football game, and they're going to put him on offense, and he's going to score touchdowns too. That's how damn good J.J. Watt is. That's who Aaron Donald is now. J.J. Watt won Houston a ton of football games. Aaron Donald is going to win this game for the Rams. Jared Goff's not going to win the game for him. Cooper Kupp's not going to win the game for him. Nobody else is. Aaron Donald is the best defensive player in the National Football
I'm
League.
saying
Has
Khalil
been
Mack
for the
gets
last
the
3
clutch
years.
sack or strip fumble on Goff to seal it. I'm picking the Bears.
Good luck. I'm taking the Rams.
Oh,
Bears. 2-1, bro.
No, I'm used to the odds being against me, bro. I'm a Titan main. All right, I'm a Titan main. I'm used to having hunters and warlocks against me. We crayon eaters, bro. We crayon eaters, right?
Yeah, we got the last game of the week, chat. We saved the best for last. 2 undefeated teams going up against each other. Seattle, Steelers, and Titans are the only 3 undefeated teams in the league right now. 2 of them are going up against each other this weekend. There ain't nobody on that Steelers defense that's going to stop Derrick Henry. That dude, he's going to get his 100 yards no matter what. The Steelers' offense has looked very good and they haven't been utilizing Juju Smith-Schuster. It's been James Washington, James Conner, and the rookie Chris Claypool. They got Tennessee favored in this one by 1.5. And the only player to watch on Pittsburgh in this whole game is the rookie and Chris Claypool. The other two are Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry.
Hiatus, did you just hear what he said? This is the man you've been siding with all night long. He said the only person to watch on Pittsburgh is Claypool.
I'm just stating what ESPN's saying.
Wow.
Stating what ESPN's saying.
Don't repeat
Chris
them.
Claypool is the only guy on Pittsburgh to watch during this game. Only because Juju Smith-Schuster has not been a factor.
Yeah, hey. But any given Sunday.
It is.
So this one, unfortunately, looking at the last 5 games doesn't help me at all.
Like it literally teams, bro.
No, it's rough on both sides of these.
Exactly. It doesn't help me either way. Like the Steelers played the Giants. They played Denver. They played Houston. They played Philly. And they played Cleveland. Titans played Houston, Buffalo, Minnesota, Jacksonville, Denver. Like
all mediocre to bad teams.
It doesn't help me to sway me either way because I gotta go with my gut. And I'm gonna say that experience weighs out. I do believe that the Titan. I do believe Henry's gonna get loose.
Yep.
He. I mean, ain't what you gonna do? I mean, all you can do is throw bodies.
Nobody's stopping that.
Exactly. All you can do, but I do.
They've had 2 weeks off, and he's got almost 600 yards on the ground already.
Ridiculous.
Right.
He's ridiculous.
But I do believe that Ben Roethlisberger will find a way. I do believe he'll find a way. Because again, we're not talking about defense. We're talking about offense. Right. And from an offensive
and which
standpoint,
both defenses are good. We can't pass that up.
Right,
both
but that's
defenses are top tier defenses right now.
But that's not our focus.
How many games has Tennessee been dominating in the first half, almost to lose in the second half this season, though?
Yeah, but look what Tennessee did with the same team last year in the playoffs, and look how many teams they upset.
But this is what I will say.
And almost beat the Kansas City Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl.
This is what I will say. This will be the first time. This is why I won't go with Tennessee. This is the only reason why. This is going to be the first time that Ryan Tannehill is going to face a legitimate defense. And he's going to have to figure it out. He's going to have to figure it out. So that's my question. Would you put your trust in Tannehill to bring it home, or would you put your trust in Roethlisberger to bring it home?
Statistically, Roethlisberger.
And that's why I'm going with Pittsburgh. I just believe that if the game gets close, if they're able to figure out a trap scheme, a pull scheme that even slows down Derrick Henry and it goes to the air, it's going to be a problem for Tannehill. It's going to put him back in his Miami days when he was behind that line, and not being able to fake
Titans
them out.
Actually have an offensive line compared to his Miami days, though. Tannehill was one of the most sacked quarterbacks when he played for Miami.
Yeah,
I get that. What I'm saying is him being back there and having to make game time decisions against a formidable defense that he has not faced this year.
No, he has not faced a good defense yet.
He's been playing teams that have questionable defenses. Even when he faced against the Texans, like it took him to the OT. It was a shootout. Like they fought that game all the way through. So if it comes down to a situation where the defense actually puts a stop, I don't trust that Tannehill is going to figure out a way to win that game. Me personally, I don't. So I'm going with Pittsburgh.
Here's my take on this game. All right. Pittsburgh's going to win this game because they're better at every position except for running back. And running backs do not win football games. They just don't. As good as running backs are, there's no team that says, dang, we're down. You know what we need to do? Keep giving it to Derrick Henry to win games. You don't win football games by just going to the running back.
Right.
Pittsburgh is better at cornerback. They're better at safety. They're better at D-line. They're better at quarterback. They're better at wide receiver. I mean, who's not going to take Juju Smith-Schuster over Corey Davis? Come on. Humphreys or whatever. I will
Humphreys
say,
is a nice, reliable wide receiver, and
but
he always
Juju
has
Smith-Schuster.
been.
But Juju Smith-Schuster.
Right. And Juju hasn't even been used the last couple of weeks.
Exactly. So you don't even need him to win unless you need him.
Like, Ben's been spreading that ball around to everybody.
Right.
Because look at how important, look how much Baker Mayfield needs Odell Beckham to catch a football. They don't win unless Odell Beckham catches footballs. And then Odell Beckham doesn't catch footballs unless Maker knows how to throw a football. But anyway, I will tell you who the X factor in this game will be if it is going to be an upset. My pick is the Pittsburgh Steelers, hand down. But if there is going to be an upset, there is one person on the Tennessee Titans that nobody is talking about who is absolutely dominating the football field. All right? And it is their tight end, Jonnu Smith.
He got hurt, though, didn't he?
No, I don't believe so. I believe he's playing and starting. This man has 5 touchdowns. It is week 7. This man is almost averaging a touchdown per game. He has 5 touchdowns, only on 213 or 225 yards or whatever. But you know what that means? It means everybody keeps forgetting about this man in the red zone.
This is true.
They're looking at Derrick Henry and Humphreys and Davis and Brown for everything. They're looking at Ryan. And don't think Ryan Tannehill won't run that sucker in because he's a Texas. He will run that sucker in if he needs to. This tight end has 5 touchdowns. You know what that means? He's a top tight end in the league. If Pittsburgh does not cover this tight end, they could lose this game. But overall, I'm going with Pittsburgh. But if you don't keep your eye on this tight end, not only in this game, but through the rest of the season, this man is catching TDs, bro. He is catching touchdowns and celebrating in the end zone. Look at that tight end.
What you think, Melvin?
And yes, I did pick him up in our fantasy league. And he is starting. I dropped Dalton Schultz for the Dallas Cowboys once Dak got injured, and I picked up Smith because he's scoring too many touchdowns for me to ignore him anymore. I've always had my eye on him. I've also been waiting for Will Dissly to come back from Seattle, but I was like, no, I got to pick up Smith now. I got to pick him up.
Taking Tennessee.
It's ridiculous.
I'm taking Tennessee.
I will put it down.
There ain't nobody stopping Derrick Henry. There ain't nobody. He's going to have a 200-yard game this week.
Yep. And they're still going to lose, which is impressive.
They're not losing that game. That defense on Tennessee is going to make Roethlisberger turn that ball over a couple of times. He's going to finish the game with 2 interceptions.
2 interceptions and a win. I'll take it.
2 interceptions, a loss, and Derrick Henry goes for 200.
Oof. I need you to put some more respect on the black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
I ain't never been a black and yellow fan.
I'm not a fan either, but this is football. This ain't about my fandom. I would love to pick Dallas in every single game, but it ain't gonna happen.
So, with NFL pretty much done, let's do a quick power ranking. Top 3 in the league currently. Who you got, Lim?
I got me, baby. I'm the number NFL in the whole damn league, baby. We doing it.
Who we got? Top 3, fellas. Who we got?
Hiatus or Melby, y'all go first. I'm gonna
Passing it
try to
up.
export this.
See?
I'm gonna try to export this. I go first every week, bro. Ain't no passing it up. I go first every week.
No, you don't.
Well,
You went
we can agree that Melby goes last every week. Hiatus. We can at least agree to that.
Oh, so you want me to go first then?
bad, Melby.
All right.
I'm going to try to export this to an Excel spreadsheet right now.
Currently going into tomorrow. Numero 3. I have Kansas City. 2. It's Tennessee Titans. And then from Tuesday's podcast, I'm still keeping Pittsburgh at number 1. But that's all going to change this weekend.
Okay. So for me, number 3, KC. We know. Number 2 is going to be the Bucks. Still keeping them there. And number 1 is Pittsburgh, as I stated before. Look, the only reason that the Bucks haven't jumped to number 1 is because AB is not playing. Look, bro, you don't get a star like this. Look, Brady
They're going to
wanted
have
this
6
so
wide
bad.
receivers, basically, that it can throw to when O.J. Howard comes back off of IR as well. They're going to have Gronk, O.J. Howard, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, and that Steve Miller dude. Or Scott Miller. Scott Miller.
It's going to be freaking crazy and scary. I mean, if their defense just plays mediocre.
And then they got Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette in the backfield.
They're dogging teams because how are you going to line them up? Who are you going to line on who?
You can't guard everybody on that side of the ball. It'll be impossible.
Bro, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. That is what I'm waiting for. Like, that was a move. That was the move, like how we celebrated Le'Veon Bell going to KC. That was that kind of move. It was like, yo, this just got interesting.
Yo.
Are we about to see a KC Tampa Bay Super Bowl type joint? Like, what's about to happen?
Because that's going to look that way here pretty soon, unless some injury happens or something else miraculously happens.
Big facts.
Okay, so my number 3. Where did it go? My number 3, I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Kansas City Chiefs. City Chiefs.
Rams.
That's his number 2.
Kansas City Chiefs. All right. For number 2, I have a tie between the Rams and the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right. Number 1, San Francisco 49ers.
You really asked me, bro. I ain't even.
How the hell do you have San Francisco and you're number 1 where they're 3-3?
You want me to tell you why? They're going to beat the Patriots. They're going to lose to the Seahawks. They're going to beat the Rams. They're going to beat the
you're telling me Kansas City is a better team than the Chicago Bears, the Seattle Seahawks, the Green Bay Packers, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's what I thought.
Yes.
That took a long hesitation. I don't know if I believe that statement or not.
Dude, Patrick Mahomes is like nobody we've seen before. Tyreek Hill is the fastest player in the NFL. They have the addition of Le'Veon Bell with Clive Edwards-Helaire. If either one of them in, it's going to be a flipping joke. Travis Kelce, they have the best tight end in the league. And Patrick Mahomes is almost never sacked.
Yeah, but you said your number 1 team in the league is the San Francisco 49ers. We're not talking about the Kansas City Chiefs.
You just asked me about the Chiefs. You just said, so you're saying that the Chiefs are better than, did you mean 49ers? Because you just talked about the Chiefs. You said Chiefs, bro.
No, I literally said, well, you You're saying the 49ers are better than those teams.
I think so.
They're not better than the Chiefs. They're
I
not
think
better than Tampa Bay. They're not better than Green Bay. And they're not better than the Bears.
the
How do
49ers
you have
aren't
a
better
three
than
and
the
three
Bears.
football team as your number one power rank
I
without
don't
their
do
best running back?
hiatus. Didn't I just say I do not do power rankings based upon
Based off
win?
a record. He did. He did say that.
But
Because
without
Seattle
their
should
best
not be
running back
undefeated.
and without their best defensive player, probably one of the best defensive players in the league when he's healthy, you're going to have the
Tennessee.
49ers, as you stated last week, and Jimmy Garoppolo being trash
He is
in
trash.
your
He went to the Super
number
Bowl.
one power ranking.
He went to the Super Bowl as trash. He went to the Super Bowl. The Rams went to the Super Bowl with trash Jared Goff, didn't they?
We'll see how fast that number one drops out of the top three after the Sunday, chat. Because it won't
Don't
stay there.
Don't all of ours change every week? What are we?
The
What are we?
49ers
By the North
nuts
South.
are to be a number one power ranking in the
Who's,
NFL.
who's gonna stop that rushing attack and who's gonna stop that defense? Who?
Man, you took them over Henry?
He took them over 5 teams.
Yikes, bro.
Yep.
That's tough.
Who's gonna stop them?
That's
Who
tough.
stopped them last year? Who's gonna stop them this year?
Dude,
I don't know,
every team in the NFC as soon as they make the playoffs.
Really? Green Bay Packers didn't stop them. The Seattle
That
Seahawks
was last
didn't
year.
stop
We're
them.
talking
The
about
New
this
Orleans
year.
Saints didn't
We're
stop
talking
them.
about this
The
year,
Rams didn't
not
stop them.
last year.
I just said who stopped them last year.
You said
That's
who's
what
gonna
I
stop
just
them.
said.
You said who's gonna stop them. I said nobody in the NFC is gonna stop them when they get to the playoffs. And then you went to last year.
You're right.
We're talking
Nobody
about
is going to
this
stop
year.
them once they get to the playoffs. You
We're
are correct.
talking
Nobody
this
is
year.
going to stop the 49ers, bro.
We are talking this year. The 49ers are not making it out of the first round of the playoffs.
Oof.
They're not making it out of the first round of the playoffs.
He said them boys ain't even going to make it out the first round, and they just came from the Super Bowl. He
Yikes.
said they ain't even going to make it out the first round. That ain't disrespect to me. I hate the 49ers. I'm a Cowboys fan, bro. So that's not disrespectful to me. That's disrespectful to a team that just left the Super Bowl. That boy said, y'all are one and done. Y'all won't make it back there.
Yikes.
Oh,
So, with NFL being over, guys, for this week anyways, for the topic of Total Miles games and Tuesday's podcast, we're going to move to the NBA really fast. Not a lot of news in the NBA this week besides the fact that they're looking to move their whole season into a month ahead, basically. The first talks were that they were going to start in about the middle of January. They have now pushed everything back and looking to start about a week or two before Christmas. They're planning on having a decision by the 30th of October, which is in 6 days, on when the season's going to start, what day exactly it's going to start, and it's going to be a 72-game season instead of an 82-game season. So they're minimizing by 10 games. They're looking at having a 2-week off week, basically, instead of no All-Star game, no All-Star break. They're going to take 2 weeks off instead during the mid-calendar portion of everything. And they didn't really mention whether or not they're going to stay in the bubble the entire season. There was mention that they wanted to start everything sooner as well so they can get everything situated so they can eventually get fans back into the stands. But with them moving the whole season, and basically they're pretty much already confirming that it's going to start before Christmas. And with them saying that there's going to be a decision within the next 6 days, and all of this was just talked about like a day or two ago, it's pretty much already, I'm saying it's pretty much written in stone. They're going to start up in December, which means everything else is going to move forward. The draft's going to move up. Free agency is going to move up. And we're going to see a lot of trades here happening within the next month. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on here in the NBA in the next month before everything starts back up again. What do you guys think about this, on them literally just finishing the season not even 2 weeks ago. And now we're having talks about them starting up here in not even a month and a half.
I'm literally waiting to see what the NBA Players Association says. Because some of these players might want to lick their wounds for a little bit longer, spend some time with family and stuff instead of jumping right back into a season. Especially players who gave their all, like Jimmy Butler. Like, can the man take a vacation real quick? Like,
No.
Well,
man,
and that's
I
the
know
thing. These guys
I
have
know he's
been in the
training
bubble
already, but
confined
man,
for 3 months now, basically. It's
yeah,
just we're now able to leave, and now we're the NBA and the association. They got to give the players 45 days notice before they can start the season again. So with them giving the date of October 30th as a set date, puts them basically a week and a half before Christmas to put us on schedule for Christmas games still, which I think is their main priority, is to have Christmas games no matter what this year, is what they're
yeah.
looking at.
Hey, they'll get all the ratings. Nobody will be watching anything outside of the Christmas parade by Macy's in the morning, which probably won't even be a thing.
And a couple
Uh,
football games if it happens.
but yeah, that would definitely be the number one thing. And I know the TV channels, they want those basketball games because it's usually something good like Lakers Warriors. You know what I mean? They're gonna want something on there. But how do the players feel? Like with
And
all
that's
the
what
stress
I'm
of
waiting to hear, because literally
playing
all
it,
this developed not even 48 hours ago on all of this. So we haven't really seen any big highlighted Twitter posts yet. We haven't seen any interviews or anything of that nature yet. So this coming week is going to be fairly interesting for the NBA on what players are going to say, what owners are going to say, organizations on how they're going to prepare regarding everything, because that's a very short amount of time on to get your next season ready and available.
Yeah, I think going into it though, everybody kind of knew with COVID, with the time off. So I know that it seems like it's short, but we also have to keep this in mind. They had about 4 or 5 months off.
They did.
Um,
And I think that's
so
the other thing. They're
the,
trying to get everything back into a regular schedule
e-
again for the next year.
exactly. And so the thing is, it's not that they need time off because you've already had time off. Like this is time for y'all to get back to the
Your
gym and
normal
let's get
swing
everything
again.
right. Let's get back. You know, we gave y'all time off. We let you opt out and still get paid. But at the end of the day, it's a business. They got to get their money. They lost a
yeah,
lot of money
Yes,
them
they
with
T-
did.
COVID, and they didn't
oof.
get that money back.
They say
So,
salary
like,
caps are going to be down by almost $30 million this year.
right.
Boo
So
hoo hoo.
now,
NBA players, boo hoo hoo. You're gonna
yeah,
go from 30 million to 28 million. Boo hoo hoo. Who cares?
right. Yep. So, I mean, I understand that aspect of them, but look, it's a business. And at the end of the day, you got to go to work. Now, they
Right.
can choose not to, just like they did before. But at the end of the day, you got to get this rolling, because what you can't have happen is that the season gets affected going forward, because it's going to throw everything off going forward. And so when you get into like 21, 22, like you can't keep crunching and making the season smaller. So
Exactly. And then that's when you start taking things into standpoints too of, can you even count these seasons towards statistical factors and record factors and this, that, and the other? Because they're not full seasons. They're not legitimate seasons. It's not
You
the
can.
same playoffs.
listen, I don't need 82 games to show me who the best player in the league is. I don't even need 60 games to show me who the best player in the league is. Now, remember, prior to all of this going on, there were
Wait,
so many
who's the
talks.
best player in the league?
There
I need
were
to hear
there
you
were
say it.
well, right now it's LeBron James
Correct.
until Kevin
Okay.
Durant comes back.
Yeah. Just making
So
sure. Just making sure.
yeah,
It is LeBron right now,
so,
for sure.
right. So so there were talks about them limiting or lowering the amount of games. This is perfect for every player because this is what they wanted. They
Yep.
wanted less games, and you're getting it. Now you're being forced into it, but you're getting less games.
Right.
10 less games is still better than
With a less
playing
month less of time notice too.
exactly. So it's better than
Bro,
playing 82
facts.
games and trying to crunch that.
Yep. Agreed.
Last topics. There wasn't. So, two topics real quick, actually. Tampa Bay is trying to tie this game up here. They're in the bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. They get a man on first and second. Score is 7-6. If they get a single, this game is tied up.
Can we say no defense? Can we say no outfield?
No defense.
If they get a single, this game is tied up. It's been a back and forth game. It's been fairly interesting. College football wise, there has been a couple of decent games on today. One big upset did happen today regarding college football as well. But taking a look at a couple of other games first, the number 1 team did what they were supposed to do. They smashed up on Syracuse today. And then Alabama ended up smashing up on Tennessee. Looking into a couple of first-time games this week, Ohio State and Nebraska played their first games today. Nebraska had high hopes for the season. They ended up getting smacked against Ohio State 52-17. A really close game today was Oklahoma State and Iowa State. Iowa State's been playing pretty decent the last couple of years, but Oklahoma State ended up barely holding on by a field goal in this game. The biggest upset on the day was Penn State in their first game of the season, losing to Indiana by a point in overtime, guys. A point in overtime. Other than that, games that were played were expected to be played, were expectable wins. Michigan was expected to beat Minnesota. They ended up beating up on them 49-24. And the current game going on right now is actually not too bad. I don't think SMU is going to come back from this one, but Cincinnati's currently winning 28-13 in that game. Other than that, guys, not a whole lot else going on in the sports world. NFL, obviously, with the season and everything that's been going on. So, wow. Tampa Bay just came back and won this game, chat. Tampa Bay just came back and won this game. Holy wow. A single to right center and then an error scored both runs to finalize the game. Tampa wins 8-7. That series is now tied up 2-2.
Maybe it is rigged.
That is crazy.
I know I gave Major League Baseball credit earlier, but maybe.
A single to right center.
4-2.
The dude scored on an error. And then another run scored on a fielding error.
Feels bad.
That's insane.
Feels really bad.
Wow.
That's like me in trials. Game 6, Lamont had it lined up for a perfect snipe, but ain't no bullets in the damn sniper.
And I stated this too.
Quick.
Tampa has to score more than 6 runs to win a game.
This is
Both
true.
games they have won. 6-4 and 8-7.
Did call it. That is exactly what you said, Melby. That is exactly what you said. They have to score more than 6.
They have to score more than 6 to pull this game off and even have an opportunity at winning the series.
Verbatim. He said that verbatim.
He did.
Verbatim.
Catch up on chat real quick. Geek says, I still, no matter what, COVID, no COVID, if I'm an owner and I have a contract with a player to pay them to play a sport for me and and includes them performing at their best possible level, which means they're under obligation to keep their fat butts in shape. Completely 100% agree with that. Even if you're going through contract obligations or anything like that and you're holding out on a contract, you're held responsible to be in shape and to be in football shape when you come back and you either sign your contract or you get traded to another team. You can't just be holding out or do this, that, and the other, get traded off and end up looking like Rob Gronkowski in the offseason and coming back and playing football and trying to gain weight back real quick.
Yeah,
Bruce
it was
Arians said
bad.
it himself during training camp. Dude was terrible in training camp. He had no speed. He had no muscle. He was used to playing in cold weather and couldn't even deal with the humidity and heat. And he's finally 7 games in is finally showing himself of an old Gronkowski-ish. I don't know if it'll continue or not, but we'll see. Another statement Geek noticed too. He said, "I would have had a clause in contracts that said penalties and fines and a loss of wage that would impose a player at nothing but excuses." And I agree with that as well. Players need to be punished regarding that if they're not
Well, I will say in
not entirely performing the way they need to be, but if they're not, how do you want to put it? If they're not
you know,
presenting themselves and bringing themselves to the best responsibility among the organization and among everybody else,
well, yeah,
then
I
I
mean,
agree with that 100%. But as far as
even
like a
with
day-to-day
excuse,
basis, like stats wise and this, that, and the other, that'd be kind of hard to deal with. But it's so much that really ties into that.
I mean, with excuses, as long as it's not a medical excuse, because rule number one of the medical field and nursing is pain is whatever the patient says it is, because
Right.
there's no way to test for pain. There's no
Right.
MRI, CAT scan, MRI. There's no X-ray. There's nothing you can inject dye or whatever. Like, there's nothing that can tell you if someone says I'm having back spasms, there's no way to prove that they're having back spasms and the pain is exceeding a level beyond playability, right? They can take them back, they can do x-rays, CAT scans, and all the doctors and everything, just like with Kawhi Leonard in San Antonio, could say, we don't see anything wrong. But he's like, no, I'm not ready to come back yet. I'm not ready to come back yet. So you can have Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili trying to manhandle you in the locker room saying, get big and come help us in this playoffs. But the pain is whatever the patient says it is. If Kawhi Leonard says he cannot play, then he cannot play. And no doctor or anybody outside of his own body can tell him that you don't have any pain if he knows he has pain. And that's the problem with sports, is because if someone really doesn't want to, I mean, how many NFL football games do we see as soon as the team starts getting trashed, then everyone starts going out with an injury? Like everybody starts dropping
You
because
see a
they just,
defense on the field for 35 minutes a
yeah,
game.
bro.
You just see a person
Yeah.
start walking off the field. Let me fall
Yeah.
down real quick so we can get a timeout.
Exactly, bro. That's why I'm like, how many of y'all are really injured, or how many of y'all are realizing there's no way we're gonna win this game? It's the fourth quarter with 6 minutes, and we're down by 4 scores, right? And we don't have our starting QB. So why am I gonna risk injury as a defensive player and stay in this game for this 6 minutes that we know in the NFL turns into 12, 15, 20 minutes, right? Why am I going to risk? So let me fake an injury and get out of this game and hit the showers, because I'm trying to go hit, the strip club after, or whatever NFL players do. I don't know what they do, but I know me, if I'm on a football team, I'm trying to win. I'm trying to make a play, right? I want to play the whole time because I want coaches to see me out there giving my 100. But if you're already a starter, bro, like, it just happens so much in the NFL. Once your team is down by 5 scores, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going up against the freaking Kansas City Chiefs, then everybody starts going down with an injury in the second half. Everybody.
Right.
Oh, here's another lineman down. Here's a linebacker down. Oh, the safety's down. Oh, here's another lineman down. I'm like, all right, dude. Can y'all just throw in the flag, please? Like, just have your coach throw in the flag, basically saying y'all are done with this football game. But the only thing is, even if the coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, head coach, assistant coach, doesn't believe that hiatus is really injured, and you believe that he's making excuses to get out of the game, but if he says he has pain, you have to respect it,
Right. I agree.
because he could have pain. That's the only thing with the excuses that bothers me.
Is there any other questions in chat, or is there anything you two want to include in a podcast before we wrap anything else up and we go raid a fellow streamer of ours? Or if you guys have any recommendations, we'll go raid somebody as well.
I will say the WWE Hell in a Cell pay-per-view event tomorrow is going to be amazing. The main event is going to be Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, versus his cousin Jay Uso. And Roman Reigns promised on Friday Night SmackDown that after he wins, it's an I Quit match. He has to make him say I quit. That the Usos will fall in line and call him the tribal chief, which means they will form a faction. But Roman Reigns says if they don't do that, then they're cut off from the family. And
Huh.
Roman Reigns will ensure that they're never in another tag team championship match, like that their family doesn't eat, their kids, their wives, and everything. And if anyone in the WWE is that guy who has the power to control everything, like John Cena once did, and The Undertaker did, and Stone Cold Steve Austin did, it is Roman Reigns. It is the
Right.
best storyline in wrestling. So even if you're not going to be, watching all of it, you're going to at least have to YouTube the live results or something like that. But Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso, Hell in a Cell, I Quit match, you're definitely going to want to watch that because the Uso family has been in wrestling for years, going all the
They
way back
have.
to Rikishi, Dwayne The
Yep.
Rock Johnson. Like they're all family. They are all family. So it's definitely the most exciting thing going on in wrestling right now, and I can't wait to watch it tomorrow. Hell in a Cell, WWE.
Make sure you guys give these a follow, a shout out. Much appreciated, guys. Love having these two with us over here on the podcast. We always have a blast with it. We always have plenty to talk about. We love our arguments. That's why we get along so well with each other, guys, because we can have
Big fact.
arguments nonstop over all of this all day long and turn around and just give each other a big old hug right after and not even give
Hey,
a shit.
yes.
So it's
Exactly.
amazing. That's another reason why we do this together, because we can vibe with each other no matter what. And then on top of that, we can have amazing arguments and bring out great statements at the same time.
Big
Um,
fact.
Other than that, guys, much appreciated for everybody. Thank you for stopping by. Mia, Win, thank you for those subs earlier, guys. You guys didn't have to do that. Much appreciated. Big shout out to those guys as well. Make sure if you guys
Hey.
haven't to stop by Win, give him a follow as well. Is there anybody in chat or that you guys have a preference on who we're rating tonight?
Well, there's always JJ Living Prof, but I do see the homie Fly McNasty, who is back from being very, very sick the last week. And he barely did his first stream coming back from being very, very ill last night. He's on right now. That would be my recommendation.
Okay.
But hiatus, who do you think?
Well, I'm getting hailed to do a 3-man with
World leader?
JJ. So that's where I'm headed. But I mean, I'm. It doesn't matter either way. Either
Yeah,
way, I'll still go over and
Melby.
shout them out and rate height.
I haven't seen Fly in a minute, so you do bring a good point. So let's go Ray Fly. Give him a big shout out. Make him feel better, guys.
Hey, Melby, he's a Titan main, so you already know what we do,
Ooh,
baby.
all right, I see how it
You
is. I
already
see how
know.
it is.
Yeah.
Retro, we'll get you the next time, because Fly been sick. He hasn't streamed in a minute, so we're going to go give a shout out to Fly. Bring him some happy cheers. Make sure you guys give him some good vibes and everything. Tell him to feel better. I don't know if he's 100% yet. I don't think he is.
Yeah.
But for him to be streaming today finally is good to see, because dude's always streaming. He's always on. So let's go hit him up, guys. Have a good night. Again, much appreciated for everyone for stopping by, guys. And we're going to go over and rave Fly here in about 5 seconds ago, guys. Much appreciated. And we will see you guys on Tuesday with the next podcast.
Yes, sir.
Hey, freaking great stream today, y'all. That